You're doing this to terrorize poor Luke.
Wrong button.
My second full week of my new Tuesday through Saturday schedule, and it's interesting. It's nice having a set weekend. It's just weird that it's Sunday, Monday now instead of Saturday, Sunday. First time I've ever had a schedule offset like that, and honestly, it's better than covering for people every Saturday. So. I did that last week, and let me tell you, why? How does struts even leak? But seriously, I understand they're hydraulic component, but how? What did I do to my car? That is a not pretty repair bill. Well, yeah, if your engine mounts are considered wearable parts because they are damaged by the vibration of the engine, and if the engine mounts fail, your engine falls out of the car.
It's not.
I had to replace those on my car too. You would. I know, right?
I accidentally seized an engine because of a bad mechanic. So I had it was a 2000 Cherokee, and we sawed off the exhaust. It was basically just open headers, so it was loud as shit. We're not gonna be able to tell the difference in sound. It's ear splittingly loud already, anyways, right? So I take it in to get the oil changed because I was in Maryland at the time, and it's a gigantic ass pain to get rid of your own oil that costs the same as paying someone to do it. So why bother? So I took it in to get it done. It happened, it happens occasionally. So I just, they gave me my keys back. I gave them the whatever it was, and I drove off. Cool. Driving it around base, driving it on and off base, no biggie. 3 months later, I decide to get on the highway. The engine's getting really warm. Suddenly, it's not running anymore.
Just coasting along.
Coasting along without power steering.
Oh, gosh.
So brakes works. Getting it off without ripping my arms off trying to turn the steering wheel was its own experience. But we got pulled over. And I take a look at it, and there was no plug. They never bothered to plug up the oil pan. I'd spent months driving the thing with no oil and didn't notice that it was running rough because I cut the exhaust off. So it was already loud as shit. I had no way to know. Seized it up and had to replace the engine. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanics aren't crew chiefs. They don't have to try that hard.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your bill, Rodance. I'm sure it sucked.
oh, I haven't paid it yet. Is the fun part. I made them give me a quote because I wasn't going to sit there for however long it took them to order a part and then put it on the car. I did discover I have a superpower. After no, I can straight 190 proof Everclear. Can't even taste it. No,
You
I
don't
can't
taste much of that,
taste it.
like, yeah.
COVID, man. Apparently, I literally was like, I can't smell it. Hold it over to one of my friends. Oh, yep, that's still Everclear. Okay, I can't smell it. Can I taste it? Pour a little tiny bit into a shot glass. Nothing but slightly warm. I've
I mean,
had
I
more
don't.
suck eating a jalapeno.
I remember the smell. I don't
I remember the smell, but I cannot smell it now.
I don't remember a taste though. I just remember the burn. I don't remember a taste.
Yeah, I mean, grain alcohol shouldn't have one, but it didn't even like nothing. Yes, it does. That potato vodka is disgusting.
Yeah, bad
There's a
vodka does
reason
taste
it's
like ace
flavored.
hairspray.
Yeah. Okay, I get to taste
When you're drunk
tequila and
before you
other
drink,
stuff.
your opinion stops mattering.
Yeah.
This tastes great. You don't even know what you're drinking.
Yeah. No, I used to hate it. I like it now. I still refuse to eat yellow mustard simply because it looks vile being that color of yellow. But it's like I don't want to eat it because it looks that way, not because it tastes bad.
So like a fine Dijon mustard or
Oh,
like the
I
mustard from
love
Heinz?
my favorite out of all of them I've tried so far is either honey mustard or stone ground. I used to hate mustard
Yes.
before. Yeah.
Oh, it's a poopy mustard, but it is a good mustard. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we have 3 minutes. I'll keep it short. I almost suffocated putting on that mask because of this piece that goes over the seal, and I was kind of fighting with it, and I realized that I can only breathe out, and I'm like, this is going really well.
Hey, you know you got it. You know you have a good seal.
Um. Oh. So one of the worries I have about those filters is that they're ancient. They're probably Soviet era. So I'm like, I don't really want to breathe that in.
Probably wise.
Mm.
Boy, I've got a dusty room story.
Mm. Yeah, putting on my old gas mask. Probably
Alright.
have to get new filters.
I will protect us from the tangent train, and my whole thing will be the one story. So I have so I have a friend
Do you?
whose life is probably significantly shorter now. He deployed. He did his typical fobbit thing. But he did it on one of the air bases that we had decided to repurpose that the Soviets built.
Hmm.
Makes sense. Why pave a runway when there's already one there that's not full of craters? Yeah. That's a giant ass thing to build an airfield. So
Yeah.
but he went there as the calm guy, and as long as you're in a dry environment like the mountains of Afghanistan, you don't worry too much about the degradation and the copper lines underneath the ground. They're not, if it's not soaking in water, cables are probably going to be fine for a long time. So they used the copper infrastructure that the Soviets built, which meant,
Oh.
which is fine. All the cable headers are fine. They just re-terminate for new standards. Where we start to get into the dust part of the story, there were a couple of places in that base, a couple of the old structures, some of the munitions bunkers, and some of the basements and lower levels that had biological and radiological signs up, and no passage. Nobody was allowed in those places. Security, like the security forces, were not allowed in those places. But the comm guys had to go down there because that's what the cable vaults were.
Oh.
So he's down. The first time he went down there, because he wanted to buy cool stuff, because who doesn't want to be a Geardo the first time they get to do cool stuff, right? So so the flashlight he got for himself was one of those like tactical looking GoPro with the flashlights on it.
Okay.
So it's cool. He can record himself doing stuff. Guys get combat footage with it. He's a fobbit, whatever. But he turns it on and he walks down there. So we got film of him going descending into what came straight out of a fucking Metro game. Uh, so like he stops and pans over to the radiological hazard and the biological hazard signs and the no trespassing and the chains across. And he's unhooking all of the chains.
Oh gosh.
And he descends into the darkness of awfulness, and he hits the bottom, and like you can see the footprints and all of the settled dust and particulate matter down there as they're walking through it. But you walk through that stuff, it's all kicked up, so you can see all of the haze, and they're coughing on the video, trying to walk
Oh
around down
no.
there searching for these cables. Yeah.
Oh.
Buddy shaved. If he doesn't get cancer, he shaved 20 years off his life. That's my dust story for you, and that is
That's
my
a dusty
diversion.
story.
Um, yes, it's Stalker.
There's actually more than one sort of related ones.
It's Stalker. Stalker is supposed to be around Chernobyl. Metro is post-apocalypse as well, but that's
In
It's
Russia.
Soviet post-apocalypse. It's kind of like the counterpoint to the Fallout being the America post-apocalypse.
That's my story. That's my diversion. Let us continue.
I should probably be in Foundry. Yes. I mean, yes.
Can I get a weapon specialist melee combat, please?
Weapon specialist melee combat.
Melee or unarmed?
Unarmed. Well,
You can
I already
can
have one on my sheet for M1A for the pulse rifle. I don't know
you
how to
can
duplicate it.
you can drag and drop from my sheet to hers. I have weapon
Yeah, I already did
specialist
all my
unarmed.
rolls.
Yep.
Yes.
And then in the inventory side, you're going to want to go to the weapons. Um,
Uh-huh.
you're you're going to want to go to the same place that you drag and drop the guns from and find unarmed attack and give it to her so she can give herself like an accuracy bonus on it. Like it's its own unique gun for punching. You can honestly drag and drop that from my sheet as well.
I need to adjust my coffee cup. Yes.
I spent my XP.
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking, I think I'm short one of my default items from my sheet because I dropped something last session. And then, oh yeah, that Watts lost a maintenance jack and I lost the e-tools.
I I combat lost my knife. Yeah.
Yep.
And if I get asked, like if there's any ask about what happened to my knife, um, I'll say that Warren used it. That Warren threw it into an unrecoverable situation. I mean, he threw his own knife, but if anybody asks me about combat lossing my own knife, I'm saying he threw more than one just because it's cool.
The e-tools. No, it's like the
The electronic
electronics
tools.
tools.
Not entrenching electronic.
Thank you.
And I need a knife. I didn't throw my knife. Let's see, I'll take this out of my footlocker now that I can carry anything I want. Acquire to disable orbital reaching weaponry from the surface. Acquire, no, but it was part of our mission when we dropped. We were also tasked with VIP security,
Information retrieval.
data retrieval, and sample retrieval, with the goal of trying to learn as much as possible about the purpose of the facility. The bioweapons research facility. We got a lot of samples. We got something called HEMOF, which the VIP identified as primary research. And we also scooped up different looking bodies than we have found so far. Well, we
Yeah.
had so remember the remember the 1.5 that I brought back? You know, where the half looked really similar to the one. Well, no, not yes. Right. Take that and increase its mass by like 20%. Got that. And then yeah, I was pretty close to suplexing it off a roof.
You see my look of me looking at Pike for a moment and then looking back forward?
We also got some small ones. They were definitely significantly smaller in mass. They were very quick, kind of pale. Didn't seem to have acid. Didn't, at least if it is acidic, it's a much lower potency than the bigger ones. So we grabbed a couple of those. The ones we didn't, yeah, we killed some. We brought that too.
All right, how's that, Hashin? Is that better? That should be better. Like I said, I think what it was is nope, it hasn't taken effect yet. Hold on.
I got
Did
it.
you
Yep.
edit?
This Hashin said yep.
Oh, he did say yep. Okay. All right. Good. Because on my OBS, it still says the previous mic it was using, but you know what? Yeah, I gotta go with the audience. If they say they can hear me, then I guess we're good. Okay. So you had some smaller, paler, faster ones. You
Yep.
had this one that was a noticeably size larger than what you had previously encountered. And
Look
you
very
have these...
similar, just I'd say about 20% heavier.
Yeah. What did we learn?
Suspicious egg.
An egg?
Yeah, the suspicious
Oh,
egg.
right. Well, there's also the egg we jammed in a tube.
Oh, yeah, the egg that you smashed into a box, and then later.
Yeah. Once I had it strapped to my ruck, and when we started fighting, it started jiggling. I think something was trying to hatch out of it, but the tube was too constricting.
Okay. Well, I hate to see what comes out of that thing. 'Cause I'm sure it was nothing pretty. Not going to be a spring chicken, I'm sure.
I don't know. It couldn't get up before the eggheads got to it, so.
The egg and the eggheads. I feel like that's the next novel that I'm going to read.
Yeah, just to be sure, Watts goes ka-chunk PDAT if it
What's
hasn't
this?
already been.
What's this PDAT?
He just looks at Pike. Because
Was
Pike
that
is the one.
Is that
It's
the
the
one
one
we
off
got
the
from
dude you went.
Infiltrator? Oh yeah, okay. Well, I hadn't got.
Wait, you would? Well, hold on. Let's back up. This is a PDAT that belonged to somebody at the installation that she is insinuating that you did something to.
Well, yeah, he was a military infiltrator. I killed him. We searched his body for valuable information, and we got that.
I think what you say, once he hears what you're explaining, I think Zaborski's like, all right, that sounds legit to me. He doesn't say fuck all about it ever again.
Is kind of like
Zaborski's like, no,
deadpans
that sounds like a legit military kill. Meanwhile, Casados is just like shaking her head. And then Roy is over in the background. There's like zero emotion. One, he's a synthetic, artificial person or whatever they prefer. And he's also just scribbling notes.
I didn't know what order you wanted stuff in. I figured I would talk about the captured personnel when it seemed logical, when you wanted to know about it.
Okay. Well, that PDAT will have to go to the Intel geeks on the planet. So, Casados, once she hears Zimborski say that, she just reaches for it and she takes it, slips it into like her cargo pocket or something. And then now you said they were working on something on the planet and you got samples. What were they working on? Any idea?
Something called EMOF. Some weird something or another that goes in an injector.
And something injectable. That's okay. All right. You came back with some civilians. Who were they?
Yep. We took the civilian survivors. We ended up with a medical assistant. I think they were all, were they? It was like 2 medical assistants and a mechanic.
I think one of them, the one that you talked to, was definitely a lab rat of some sort. The other 2 had the appearance / didn't provide much information. They were probably more like some sort of support staff or support researchers or something like that. Or assistant researchers or whatever.
Civilian stuff.
We got a lab assistant and we got 2 facilities guys.
Did they tell you anything
which,
about what this HEMOF is, or they give you any other actionable or usable information?
I mean, they told me that the thing that was bigger was called Bolshoi, whatever the fuck that means.
Sounds Russian.
Which means it's stupid, but it's like they said he was working on the project. The infiltrator was working on the project. And then that infiltrator also authorized the previous nuking the colony to contain his experiment. And then I figured details past that I wasn't going to understand anyway, so I secured their cooperation with the Intel guys. So they were prepped and ready for interrogation by people who could actually be able to ask useful questions.
Speak their language effectively.
I didn't want to keep Dr. Bayback on the planet to do interviews when we needed to get him off planet to keep him safe with everything we could take from the facility.
I feel like getting Dr. Bayback off the planet with everything else that you managed to accomplish was something just shy of a Herculean effort from everything I've heard. Apparently Mother engaged a UPP destroyer in orbit, saved your guys' hides, so maybe you saved your own hides, and then Mother extracted
Wescott managed to steal control of their orbital batteries.
Yes.
Fucked up that UPP ship and cleared the way for Mother.
Indeed. Well, that's not exactly how it went, but that's close enough. The official report. So yeah,
shot nukes down. That's good enough for me.
You shot nukes down, and then Mother was able to focus on the UPP ship and not have to shoot all the missiles.
IFF was flipped as soon as manual control was over. That thing just kept firing at anything that wasn't UA.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing until we carpet bombed it.
Well, yes, that place is definitely some glass now, just in case anybody was curious.
Asset to now to the enemy.
Well, it's the only way to be sure.
Exactly.
Well,
I think he says it just like that too.
The UPP ship was trying to also download that data, but we managed to effectively interrupt their ability to receive transmissions from the station.
How did you pull that off?
Grenades.
He pulled that off.
I was curious how you guys were how you're gonna phrase that one.
I just do the hand gesture over to Pike, and he just says grenades.
I think this entire conversation probably takes place over like a few hours, right? Like this isn't just a quick sit down and answer question and answer for a few minutes. I think this is a question or a debrief that goes quite a bit into detail. I do want to point out that out of character, you guys were sent down initially under the pretenses that the UPP was working on something. It got out of containment. They used the nuke to suppress it. And then once you got on the planet, you heard that it was actually the UA that attacked, and that they used a nuke to deter.
Pike does not believe that at all.
No, yeah, no, that's fine, and
That's why he doesn't even mention that there's an accusation that it was UA, because that just seems like bullshit to him.
Yeah, and that it's completely reasonable.
And even if it was true, Pike has faith in command that it was justified.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, after that, I think there is some back and forth. Like I said, it lasts probably a few hours. It will be mentioned at some point during this informal review that whatever mission that these guys had gone on while you guys were doing your mission, it is completely classified. You guys don't have clearance or access or rights or whatever. Additionally, it turns out that Colonel Hanrahan is currently no longer available.
Okay.
In case it were to come up, but
I do notably completely omit everything we saw on the flight deck with Dr. Bayback.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to bring up the fact that he beeswaxed the alien egg.
He made it clear that I wasn't supposed to know that, so I'm forgetting it.
Yeah. You're being a good little soldier.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, it's probably around so I imagine this briefing or debrief started at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, as the ship is eventually coming up on orbital insertion, and probably around 12 or 1 is when you guys are done. And Zimborski says to Pike, he says, "You guys go get some chow," and then Pike, when you're done, put him on task and come see me. We gotta talk about some awards and shit. It's hoorah in the Marine Corps, by the way.
Raw.
That's probably more accurate. Actually, no, that's the Marine Corps version of Roger that. And so for the rest of the day, because you still have several hours before you arrive at the planet. Actually, hold on, let me pull up my...
Okay. I mean, if we got a little bit of time, when we go back to the troop bay
Mm-hmm.
To go get our chow, I go, hey, everybody, we got to go to the lockers real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you guys pretty much have the rest of the afternoon, we can just...
Warren.
Real quick before you get started, Kane, we can just kind of hand wave the need, the whole awards and whatever. We can just...
The only award I'm going to recommend is that Warren get a commendation with Valor.
Okay. Make a note somewhere in your notes, and then I'll try to remember to do a ceremony before you guys go get blown up again. I mean, off on your next mission.
Yeah. Before we get used as ordnance again.
No, I was gonna go with fodder, but whatever, that works. That's probably more accurate.
I mean, we were literal ordnance at some point in the last mission.
Conscience says Pike isn't an E4 at all. E4 Mafia represent.
All right, so we're going to the locker room.
Warren, drag your shit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm expecting you to pull all your shit out of your locker and inventory in front of us. But this is probably the point at which you discover the knife slinger thing that I've painted on your chest plate.
Ooh.
What did you put on this plate again? I don't remember.
So I drew on a knife with little action arrows, so it's spinning. Yeah. And I wrote in a circle around it, knife slinger.
Nice. I remember you saying
I'm putting
you
that
wanted
on
to do
my
that.
Personal armor description.
Yeah. Amazing. Holy shit. I totally did not just try to suffocate myself with water. All right, so yeah, you guys have... Excuse me, you guys have the rest of the day. You can do whatever you want to do. So basically, you've got... It's roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You have all the way until lights out, which is traditionally about 2300 or 11 o'clock at night. Pike, you can do whatever you got to do. There are a few things that you know you need to do as far as post-op stuff, like cleaning weapons and replacing lost, busted up gear, stuff like that.
So I'm gonna have them do like weapon strips and cleaning, and I'm going to go replenish our standard kits, do our combat loss and resupplies.
Okay.
Submit that package. We'll eat for sure. And I will give everybody some fuck time, but they can't leave the troop bay.
Okay. Do we have a troop bay? This isn't the troop bay. We don't really need.
The immediate vicinity of the
basically the personal lockers in the briefing.
Yeah.
But it's the
Well, it's
you want to go to the map that has the cryo beds in it.
okay. Messacrowd. Oops.
Yeah, so you guys are confined to this area.
This area or this area?
This whole area. This is your
not through this door.
Correct.
This is your
disclose.
This is basically your marine country, so to speak.
Yeah.
Outside of like if you want to go running all the decks to get some PT in.
If Pike makes it clear, it's like, keep a weapon on you that's partially disassembled. If you hear the door open, sit down and start cleaning it. Otherwise, don't leave.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah. And Pike will leave, so you guys can fuck about and do it without your sergeant around.
He
Right.
says, "Look busy."
So for the
He's
corporals,
telling you to relax.
yeah. So for the corporals and below, is there any sort of scene or thing that you guys want to get into while Pike is out doing whatever it is that Pike is doing?
I think this is when I'm pretty sure Watts is trying to fleece all of us out of money again.
You guys gonna start playing cards again?
I
Cards
would at
against
least
the Marine
humor
Corps?
him. Yes, yeah. I don't let him bring poker this time. I make him bring a different card game because I'm tired of losing my spending change to this person.
Bring Farkle.
Oh man, is that the game?
A dice game.
Is that the mini game in Kingdom Come Deliverance?
It is. I actually have a dice set with the little like leather pouch and everything of it.
Yeah,
It's great.
God, I really I'm not gonna lie to you. I spent a lot of that game time playing that game just to play Farkle against random ass NPCs so I could fleece their money from them.
Yeah,
that game was so. That was actually a really cool. And obviously this is a real game, I imagine, because Farkle is actually kind of cool. I don't remember how to play it right now. I would need a few hands to get it right.
Yeah.
But that was a really cool thing to have in that game. I like that. Anyway, see, fucking tangents again. That ought to be the name of this episode. Honestly, is Tangents, not Marine Country 2.
Marine Country 2, Tangent Train.
Tangent Train. There you go.
So you guys are playing cards and giving all of your spending money away before you go planetside.
Yeah. Well, you don't know you're going planetside
I'm
yet.
not giving him money because Wescott knows. She told him we're welcome to play cards, but he's not getting any of her pocket change this time around.
Wescott is definitely on team Cards Against the Marine Corps.
Yes.
All right, Pike, what are you doing?
I want to go find Lieutenant Eckhart.
Okay.
I have a bottle of liquor and I owe her a drink.
Okay. I think you find her in the hangar bay. She is probably got some sort of checklist in one hand and a wrench in the other. Working on Friday the 13th, because what else is she going to do?
LT.
Yeah.
Got a few minutes?
I mean, I'm really just turning this wrench to make it look like I'm actually doing something. The crew chief does all the work.
He holds up the bottle. I take my debts very seriously.
I don't remember this debt. Out of character.
It was I think it was the pickup where we had to ramp down and view the explosion.
So you could get the cool guy shot?
Yeah, she said, you owe me a drink for this bullshit.
That sounds about right. And that definitely sounds like something I, the GM, would say. So yeah, she'll just look at you and be like, it took you fucking long enough. And like the wrench drops onto the deck, the checklist gets tossed into some random troop seat, And she says, yeah, let's, she literally just goes down to the ramp, finds a spot at the top of the ramp where she can kind of kick her legs off the side and be like, pour it up.
All right. He pulls out 2 shot glasses.
What are we
Puts
drinking? And then she looks at you and she's like, what are we drinking, by the way? Are you trying to kill me?
No. It's good. It's good shit, but it's not lethal.
Oh, well, that's, those statements are almost not quite exclusive of each other, but okay.
Yeah.
She takes her shot glass and holds it up to you. She says, what are we drinking for? And when you don't have an answer, she just says, for the stupid grunts. And clinks your glass. And she'll throw it back. She probably, unless it's something really potent, she's probably not gonna give much of a reaction. Clearly, she's been to college.
This has been it's been wild so far.
I mean, I wasn't even with you on that first drop. You guys got 1 pilot crew killed. Thank God it wasn't me. We wouldn't be able to drink right now. Pour another one.
Did you hear? He pours. Did you hear that I landed it?
You did that?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, no. So I sat down and I looked at the sticks and I thought, man, they're sticks. I'm just gonna fucking work it.
Did you think in your head, what would Karen do?
I don't. Look. It's a nice thought. It's a nice thought to think what you would be doing at any given time, but I wouldn't pretend to hold a candle to anything you know how to do. All right.
You forget it, grunt. And she clinks her glass again and she throws it back.
I just, I know that sometimes when you've got to turn a wrench, and you think it might be a little tough, you think, how would Pike torque this?
No, I look at the flight crew chief and have him do it. That's a nice try, though. That's a nice try. I'll give you points for that.
I know I'm a memorable guy.
Not the way you're thinking. Or another one.
Force.
And then she'll lift this one up and she says, to all the chances that never will but could have been. And she'll clink your glass and throw it back.
Yeah.
And then she pats you on your back, like on your shoulder or whatever. Like she gives you that good friend grip, and she's like, "All right, any more, and this is not going to end well. I do have to do some work. Do you need anything else?"
Nah, just enjoying some company.
All right, we should do this more often, but maybe not during the duty day.
Well, if they're not busy trying to kill me again, let me know.
I think, God, I really want to give you that stereotypical, like, my shift ends in a few hours. That would just be a little too much. I think she's like, well, you know when the duty day ends, and we'll be in orbit shortly.
I'll come find you.
Normally, that would make me nervous.
Nah.
And she just turns and walks back into the Cheyenne. That was her exit moment.
Like,
if there was more of an angle for this view to have, she would have gone full stage right. But she's got to go into the cockpit.
as he gets up to leave the dropship, he'll shout in, "Good luck, Petrovich!" And then just keep walking out.
She looks back, she's like, "Who the fuck
Petrovich is her crew chief.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Definitely doing it. I just pissed her off. Good luck, buddy.
Wow. All right. It's about dinner time. What's next?
I'll go back and eat with everyone.
Okay. It's probably going to be the same, I don't know, spaghetti and cornbread. There's no fish brought up from the last planet you were on, so there's no fish fry.
I don't want to eat anything that we brought back with us this time.
I wouldn't either. There's a lot of radioactive shit in it. All right.
That fish was good. Thank you.
I don't know. I want to, I just want to try to get a feel for how people are doing after the mission. That got wild.
Yeah, it did. I, as the GM, will shut up and let you, the players, navigate this scene.
Yeah, Pike wants to look. he wants to look and see if anybody looks like distressed or distant or different or.
How about this? Let's have Pike make an observation roll, and then anybody that wants to resist it, they can. Otherwise, they'll have to kind of give what their character's appearance might be, their countenance.
What was this? What was the roll?
He's doing a roll to see kind of a gauge of what kind of, mood, stress. Is anybody cracking from the bullshit that you just went through on that last op? Because there was a lot of bullshit there.
He's looking to see if this. He's looking at the table or eating to see if there's anybody he needs to check up on.
Yeah, so Winston is going to try to counter that.
Okay,
I mean,
that makes a lot of sense.
Watts would counter it on principle, I think, but not because anything's wrong. Just principle.
To throw off the
He's
scent
countering
a
it
little bit.
because he can, and it was Pike.
Okay, so what?
Well,
what's
no,
the,
Pike's
what's
his
the roll?
buddy,
Oh,
but he's
Oh.
hot-headed.
oh yeah. No, I got you. Do you want to push that Pike before you let these heathens at you?
Fuck it.
Well, that didn't help
Cool.
you any.
Nope.
All right.
All right.
Your objective now is to get one success or more.
In manipulation,
Yeah, let's do manipulation.
what was the original one?
But I wasn't thinking far. I was actually
Okay.
getting ready to start thinking what it might be. So Watts resists nothing. But Watts can push. Same for Winston. Winston still fails.
Yeah, Watts wouldn't bother pushing because he doesn't care.
Watts is like, I'm going to resist even if it doesn't amount to shit. And because it doesn't amount to shit and I don't care enough, I'm not going to. I'm just doing it for the principle of the matter. Winston, on the other hand, try as he might, you see right through his bullshit smokescreen, and you know something is eating at him. You're not sure what. We, the players, know he definitely fell to the dark side during this mission.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
you, the character, not sure. Not sure what's going on. And you also don't know how this may or may not turn out. He may strike at you. Strike
Okay.
me down.
So I think when we're wrapping up food, I'll get up and say, oh, Winston, I want you to check my hands, wrists, see if I fucked anything up, beating the shit out of stuff,
Yeah, okay, I can do that.
sort of as an excuse to pull him aside.
Yeah.
I think as far as that goes, as far as the perception check goes, Watts, I think, is just sitting there scoping out kind of predatorily all of the other generic low-level Marines that he can see in his line of sight to see who he thinks he can fleece for money the fastest.
I think as I'm getting up from the
Disturbingly-
table, I don't point at anybody in particular. I don't call out Watts, but I say, don't eat each other alive while I'm gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
When Watts looks around the mess area, if there were supposed to be 30 people during dinner time, there's about 15. It is a noticeable drop in people
Yeah.
available. And it's difficult to tell if it's from combat losses or because some people just haven't been woken up yet.
Uh-huh. Well, and then Wescott probably is a little unnerved that we got that close to a whole bunch of people dying, because that's her entire agenda, is to bring everyone back alive.
And she only barely did it. And she only did it because she was manning a computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll pull Winston aside to sit down and like I'll give him my hands and wrists because I might have actually fucked something up. I'm sure they're like bruised and sore.
Are you guys
Yeah,
gonna go and
I'm
try
gonna
to
give him
find
a
a?
once over.
Are you guys gonna find like a nice quiet spot in the locker room or something like that?
You mean the closet office?
You could do it in the
Yeah.
closet,
Closet
office.
office.
That might
Yeah,
be a
we'll-
good scene or a good location.
We'll go to the closet office.
So I'm
All
thinking
right.
like I know this is the galley and that's a cook station, but I feel like that's about the right size.
Yeah, I was gonna say the cook station seems about right.
Maybe it doubles. Maybe the stove folds up and the rest folds down into an office. Very, very tiny office. It's literally a half desk with with like the world's smallest laptop on it.
I think when I go to sit down, like Pike makes a point of taking his blouse off before he sits down. It sort of like flips it so that it's obvious he's flipping the collar in the sleeve so you can see the rank as he's like placing it over the back of the chair.
Oh, so you want him to see the sergeant stripes?
Yeah, I want him to see that I'm taking my rank off.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And as I sit down and I like hold my I put my hands out for him to start looking at. What's on your mind?
Other than successful mission, I mean, not really much. I took those and he kind of trips over his words a little bit of like taken down versus taking into account the prisoners. And I think we actually managed pretty well after what was seemingly a really bad situation. I'm not really sure what happened with you at first, but you got a pretty bad wound on your neck. I should probably check that next.
Yeah. Well, my armor says don't got time for it, don't it?
I
It'll turn
guess.
to the side so you can like look at the dressing. Hey, good job with those POWs.
Yeah, I stuck with them. I know a lot of things happened and Warren had to go, so I had to stick around with them.
I mean,
I guess
that's
it's kind of the inverse that happened, I guess.
keeping that intel intact was more important than keeping me alive. Good job.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I'm not wearing the rank. We're just two Marines right now.
Thank you, Pike.
I saw when we were eating, I saw a look, and I just wanted to see you were all right. Somewhere
Yeah.
where nobody else has to know. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm seeing clearer than I think I have for a very long time. If you want to
Yeah.
push on something that
What looks different to you now?
combat is can be stressful, and I think the first mission I saw that it's a lot more violent than what I expected before. I can excuse your behavior, and honestly, when it comes down to it, I guess I see your reasoning, but I still can't excuse it.
Fair enough. We don't have to like each other. We don't even have to like what each other do in order to work well together, right?
Yeah,
I
so
understand he is a medic. You're going to see things differently. But I respect you.
yeah,
Regardless.
so I'm fine. I think after this last mission here, I've gained some perspective, and I think that I'm going to be able to work better with the team. And I'm going to do a manipulation roll.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for Palpatine to make his final moves and fully commit.
I'm not
beyond
even
Anakin.
sure I can pass this. Wait,
well.
I'll push it.
Okay.
Why not? We'll see.
Oh, nope.
Yeah, it was worth a try.
You do. So you got. What,
I'm really bad at that.
You had 2 successes, but you got 1 taken away. So you do have 1 success. You don't have any stunts. What are you trying to accomplish here?
For me?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Where am I? Where is okay. So I'm hoping that my opponent is impressed by my demeanor in this situation, and that I hope that he gives me some slack for the next mission when it comes to it.
Okay.
Okay. So I think Pike puts a hand on your shoulder and says, sometimes it takes a while to get used to the violence of being on the line, but you're made of stern stuff. The
Thank
next
you.
step is helping the other 3 catch up to you. It'll help keep them alive.
All right, we should probably return to them if I've checked all of his stuff.
Nothing's fucked up. Well, not anymore than it was.
DM would have to know.
I mean,
I think you're good.
bruises.
I think everything is at this point, like everybody's health and stress is reset. So
Okay, then we're good.
Yeah, we're good. He just gives you an approving nod and then gets up and puts his top back on.
I don't know if you guys can see my chat comments, but I really hope they're adding the ambiance here.
It's not a tale Lieutenant Cassidos would tell.
No, it's not. What if I told you there was a way to save your friends from the misery about to befall them? Is it possible to learn this trick?
So if you would like to purchase
Not from
Merciless,
Marine Corps basic training.
if you would like to purchase Merciless from Pike, we are good to go.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think that definitely qualifies as learning Merciless.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll have to add that in a second.
So yeah, once he gets back to the others, we're after duty hours. Go find Edgar. She told me I knew the duty hours. I told her I'd go find her.
If it's okay, I'm gonna reduce a rank in something that I bought just a little while ago, like before this mission started. So that I can take Merciless.
Okay. What are you changing?
Range combat back to 4.
Well, I'm seeing it at 4 right now, so.
Yeah, I just changed it back to 4.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And you have Merciless on you now. Wescott?
So now, every time you drop an opponent, you reduce a stress by 1, and you don't have to make empathy rolls to do things like kill defenseless people anymore.
Yep. You can now efficiently coup d'etat broken opponents and things of that nature.
Ooh.
Or murder helpless prisoners.
I just want to say that there's several but one glaring typo in the description of Merciless.
Yeah, I didn't even look at it. What's that?
Time is written with 2 T's, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I've noticed a thing or two like that.
Yeah, okay.
Wescott. It's just after dinner. Like, people are, disposing of their eatery stuff. What is Wescott and the rest of the crew getting after while Pike is converting Winston to the dark side and naming him Darth Vader?
She's making the other sure the other two get their appropriate downtime sections of they are free to do as they please. I believe is the after dinner time, right?
Yeah.
It is 100% their time now.
Yeah.
Both
You've got a few hours. Yeah, it's like 7. Let's say it's like going on 7 o'clock. Unless Pike or anybody else comes down with something, this is generally considered to be their free time. Traditionally, on a ship, it's used for some sort of like professional development / don't make a lot of ruckus.
We came back from mission and went basically straight on ice. So this is so as far as Pike's concerned, this is their cooldown from the mission.
Yeah. So yeah, what's Wescott and Watts up to?
Just don't make Pike regret giving you guys some time.
Yeah, Watts is probably
somewhere fleecing money.
Yeah, he's networking in the people sense.
Okay.
Trying to keep the fleecing to a minimum.
Okay, for now. He's got a network.
He's trying. His goal is to break even, to make friends. So when he wants to fleece them extra later, he can do it.
Yeah, and it won't feel bad.
Turnover.
It won't hit as hard. Yeah, it's the kill him with kindness approach. Normally I'd ask you for 100, but you're gonna give me 200 because I'm a cool guy.
Yeah. Wescott is probably jogging in the gym about this point because she has stress from the mission, and she has the emotional stress, not the stress tracker stress.
Yeah. No, I got
trying to deal with the situation, but not really knowing how. So she's effectively running in circles in the gym on the track right now.
I think while you're out there, there's another corporal you don't recognize. And as you pass by or you get within earshot, he says something like, "Are you running laps or are you running to get out of your head?" And he starts trotting along beside you.
The head.
Fair enough. You want me to give you some space?
Just somebody to just jog with quietly, I think would be nice.
I can do that. And as he's jogging, he pops ear pods in.
Yeah. just the quiet company is about the speed she's ready to deal with at the moment. Because she sure as shit isn't allowed to talk about what actually happened.
No, probably
so.
not. You know, sometimes you just having that open ear. But he just put earpods in, so maybe they're not quite so open right now. But yeah, he'll follow, and he keeps up with you pretty easily.
She's probably like one of these, like she's like jogging along at like 5 foot,
Oh,
like
yeah,
probably
yeah.
double pacing it, and
Yeah.
he's probably now slow jogging.
Yeah,
Just because,
he's
like-
not. I mean, you see sweat from the physical exertion over time, but he's not drenched and he's not struggling to keep up.
Yeah, at this, she's probably like the long haul jogging to be dog tired level jogging.
Yeah, yeah.
She isn't
Going
like,
until you drop.
yeah.
Yeah, he's right there with you for the most part. Winston. Well, more accurately, what's Warren up to while Winston is taking a knee before the Emperor?
Wait, Warren just
These Star
Warren
Wars
just got his
references are
head-
not going to stop, guys. I'm sorry.
Warren just got head pat by Senpai, so.
He did. But I'm gonna stop crunching on my cauliflower for a second.
I didn't even realize that was cauliflower, but go ahead.
We got a whole tray. It's great.
Well, it was hard to see, and then I'm also on the screen I'm looking at you guys on is significantly smaller than full screen.
So did Warren get the commendation?
It is in the process, but everything seems to look good. But also,
Okay.
more importantly, does Warren know he's getting the commendation?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's gonna clean a weapon. He's gonna hang out with Wescott. He's gonna can't hit Wescott. He's gonna hang out with Watt. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
See what Watts is up to. That kind of stuff. Just
You're
try to.
You're gonna be his wingman, while Watts is networking and whatnot. Warren is just kind of there as the extra body, so it kind of adds a little bit of agency to Watts without making it look creepy. And you know, hey, why don't you go grab us some drinks real quick? You know, that kind of stuff. I mean, he comes back with a couple of cans of soda or something, I'm sure. It's not like you're going to be openly drinking constantly here on the ship.
No, if anything, they get their beer one unit.
Yeah, exactly.
Cans.
It's literally a silver can with black letters stenciled on it. Just says beer.
Yeah.
All right.
I drink that.
Winston, after your meeting, you're sent to the temple to assassinate all of the Jedi left in the temple, including the younglings. What are you doing now?
Well, I wanna argue that by murdering people, he reduces stress.
So killing the younglings is totally acceptable, and fuck anybody that says otherwise.
It was therapeutic.
Exactly.
Oh.
He was engaging in
Wonderful.
He was engaging in self-care.
Self-care.
He's gonna go pull the plug at the hospital part of the shit.
He's gonna pull the plug on everybody's life support.
Just show up and just like pull a plug or two. Just feel great.
He's singing and dancing as he does it with a big old smile on his face, pirouetting and everything.
You mean
not yet.
catastrophic failure of cryotubes?
Yeah, that's it. Why not?
Well, don't reveal my plans yet. But as far as Winston's concerned, he's going to take this as a personal little victory of like, okay, so I am gonna do this, and this is gonna be great, and this is gonna work out, and I'm not gonna totally die of an overdose later in life from my pain and misery.
Nah, he'll be in jail on death row because he axe murdered a couple people because he got tired of dealing with them.
Or he'll be on the Jedi Council, but he won't be a master. I'm sorry. The Star Wars references are going to be thick tonight.
Yeah.
I'll try to tone it down. No promises. All right. Well, Pike and Eckhart are probably going to go do things that we don't really need to go into detail about while having several shots.
Yeah. Pike plans to enjoy his night.
Yeah, and it is enjoyed, evidently. In the morning, well, let me ask this. Does Pike stay near, let's say you guys are in, I don't know, the hangar, not necessarily the hangar, maybe where the Cheyenne gets hung up to dry?
Okay.
Do you stay there the whole night, or you do go back to your it's not really your quarters, but, you know, back to the grunt land? some
He'll
point.
leave. He'll leave when Eckhart leaves.
Okay. So yeah, that morning you are woken up by Mother. And Mother wakes you guys up saying something to the effect of, "Go ahead and get up, get dressed, grab any personal belongings of your choosing prior to heading down to the hangar deck. You've got about 30 minutes." This is not a drill. This is far more sedate than a drill.
I mean, okay. Is this an assignment or is this Liberty?
The rumor has been that there was going to be some liberty awarded.
Okay. So I will wear my uniform.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So-
Unfortunately, there's not much in the way of civilian clothes aboard the ship, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. I will
You
also
could do the old school. You have one set of civilian clothes, and that's only because you can't wear the uniform in a civilian air flight back to the country.
I don't think Pike would voluntarily wear civilian clothes. Like I'm trying
He's
to
when his civilians are
There's
military gear. It's just he's got the cutoff BDUs, the combat boots with the laces hanging out.
Oh no, the shower shoes with the boot socks. You know you've seen it.
That brings some shit back.
I know. So I think the only two circumstances that Pike could see himself wearing civilian clothes is if he was ordered to for a mission, or if he was going off the ship somewhere and he was worried about embarrassing somebody.
Yeah,
because otherwise it just wouldn't occur to him. So
no,
I feel like it would like be ill-fitting civilian clothes too. Like it would just be like he'd be bulging a little bit through it.
Yeah, they'd either be too small or too big.
It's tough to find an intergalactic big and tall store.
Yeah, I think as you guys are getting ready and you're trying to figure out like what do we bring and like what are you talking about? Just personal items. Like we're not getting like a loadout list or anything. And clearly there's no alarms. Zimborski pops his head in. He's like, "Hey, 36 hours Liberty. Don't miss the flight. Otherwise you're stuck up here with me, and there's plenty of decks to clean." And then just disappears again.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get my knife replaced?
Yeah.
Can I have it put on my sheet?
Oh, did I not put it on there? I thought I did.
Watts
I put it
needs
on
a knife and a pistol to represent the looted off of said body armaments from last session or two.
And his trophy pistol.
Yes, he gets a trophy pistol and a knife.
I'm sorry, who gets what now?
Watts needs a pistol and a knife.
Watts. And what kind of pistol?
What are the
Basic
QBZ things?
The what?
The polymer one, the QBZ something or another.
Yeah, QSZ 203.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I will. Yep. I'll just bring myself, my uniform, and a knife that I just swirl away in a cargo pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, if you look at your character sheets, you can I think right click on the icon, not the name, but the actual icon on the far left of the inventory side. You can put them all back in your inactive or whatever.
If you right click, it puts it to inactive. If you left click, it puts it to active. But
Yeah.
the edit box, the edit box, if you right click on the edit box, you can add to locker so that it doesn't count towards your encumbrance, and you've just sort of like put it up in your locker.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to figure out.
I've foot lockered my guns, my armor, my assault pack, my ghillie suit.
Yeah, I saw that because your encumbrance bar was negligible, and then I put the knife on it, and it moved just a tiny bit.
Yeah, the knife is the only item that I have on me that has any weight. A whole half kilogram. I'm really straining right now.
Yeah. So
no personal armor, no nothing, no shotgun.
I mean, if you want to bring it, well, no, you know, I mean, platoon sergeant just said Liberty, so
yeah, it's not a mission. No armor, no guns.
Yeah, you've also probably heard rumors at some point over the last, however many months it's been since you were here, or I mean, since you've joined the MEU, that Mount Tithonus has it's a pseudo hotel casino resort sort of deal underground. It's not nearly as extravagant as it sounds, but everybody kind of refers to it as, you know, the Tithonus Hotel and Casino Resort.
Yeah, there is technically an MWR, so it's basically our casino.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's like a
I don't know
TV and
what's
PlayStation in it.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what's in published material for the RPG game, but I just was like, there's got to be some sort of R&W or R&R facility. So I was like, fuck it, it's gonna be basically the military special version of a hotel casino.
Yeah.
So
So
it's completely segregated
you know,
from the rest of the base, but it's part of the base.
I don't hide from the others. Like I'm just blatantly standing in front of my locker, dropping my K-bar in my cargo pocket. And I just looked at everyone. I'm like, I'm not going to be late, and your asses aren't going to be either. We all need this. Get fucking going.
Yeah,
Warren wonders if he can bring his knife.
Does he ask?
He does.
Or you saw I was
Stick it
like,
in your cargo pocket.
All right.
If someone pats you down, say you forgot.
Watts just looks at
the
Pike.
apprenticeship begins.
No, this is Warren.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah.
The
Warren's
recruiting
just happy to have
begins.
his knife. The recruiting.
Watts kind of looks at Pike and kind of looks at Warren's back of Warren's head, does the little head shake while looking at Warren, and it just disappears into his. He is now hidden it somewhere on his person land.
yeah, because Warren's got that the prison satchel talent, right? That's not what it's
The
called.
It's prison
No.
pouch, really?
Oh God, no!
It's
The
like
last
prison
place you
wallet.
want to put a knife.
No, absolutely, you're right. I just wanted to make the prison purse joke.
Yeah,
No, but Wescott and Watts both grab their rucksack with an extra change or two of clothes.
Yeah.
You know, to have clean clothes to come back on the ship in.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh no, I'm coming back soiled.
Pike plans to party hard.
We've
He's
only
gonna
got 36 hours, so you better plan well.
Oh, he's done this before.
I'm sure he has. All right.
All he has to do
You
is be
know, I
conscious
might
enough to
be-
get back on the transport.
I might be getting older, but 36 hours sounds like a lot of time to party.
It's a literal day and a half. That's all it is. Yeah, so when you guys get down to the hangar deck, you are greeted by Staff Sergeant Zimborski, and he gives you a brief. You have the next 36 hours to spend as you see fit in the Tithonus R&R wing. Basically, it's an overgrown hotel casino resort meant to serve as a rest area for the military assigned here. You're given the standard Marine safety brief. Don't subtract or add to the population. Always have a battle buddy. Keep your wits about you. Plenty of big brass around at any time, so be mindful of who you're talking to. Not everyone here is your friend, blah, 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 etc. Lastly, you're expected to be at the base's tarmac no later than 1945 hours tomorrow evening for transport back to the ship. Otherwise, you're free to do what you want. Stay the fuck out of trouble. Any questions?
Wescott is
Sorry.
sitting there setting an alarm on her wristwatch.
I think you see a moment. You have a moment where Zimborski sees that, and he kind of looks at you a little sideways, and then he's like, "Nah, that checks out. That makes sense. That's smart. Good thinking. Stupid, but good thinking."
She plans to spend the next day and a half napping.
Yeah. So this, just FYI, Bernice 378. This is the planet that the Tithonus base is on. It's in the Mu Hercules A system or whatever it's called. It's lifeless. Excuse me. It is a lifeless planet outside of a little bit of algae and some microbes. The air is breathable, but it is cold on the surface. It's an arid tundra. So Canada, kind of like some parts of Canada. Don't take that personally. It wasn't meant to. Luke has joined the dark side. Canadian war crimes abound. There's definitely a fair amount of America that could be considered an arid tundra as well.
Yeah, I'm actually in a swampland, to be honest.
I
not
know.
really. Yeah, I'm in the swamp area of Canada, so
We call that
it's
Detroit,
just really
but
moist. Yeah, it's really moist.
I'm joking on Detroit. I've been to Detroit.
I honestly think that I've been to Detroit too. I have family who lives just outside of there, and I refuse to drive my personal vehicle in that entire in Michigan now.
I don't blame you.
I flew in, rented a car, and I was damn glad I rented a car instead of driving up.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I mean, it was an 8-hour drive. It was easier to fly.
Yeah.
But the roads up there are more pothole than road.
Yep. They are.
I've been on nicer dirt farm roads behind like a semi I've been on better nicer dirt wet raining pourings mud pit dirt roads farm roads that have better quality than the roads they have up there.
You know, anywheres in Canada that they salt the road for winter, the roads are terrible in any other time.
The salt eats at the asphalt, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It destroys the roads.
Yeah.
But
it's terrible.
Well, maybe not necessarily the salt. I think it's the salt in the water that erodes
salt,
the asphalt.
water.
I don't know how. I'm thinking like
expansion.
chemically something happens in there. Yeah.
It's the freeze thaw cycle destroys roads in and of itself.
Yeah.
The salt doesn't help.
Yeah.
The problem is Detroit has had a major funding issue with the population decline.
Oh man, no, we're gonna stop talking about government.
We're not going there.
Yep, that's one of the 3Gs that we don't talk about.
Pike is really happy to be going on vacation. He
Yeah.
does not plan to add to the population, but he plans to party pretty fucking hard.
Well, listen, the safety briefing specifically said don't add or subtract.
Hey, he's only going to subtract someone who asks to be subtracted.
I feel Winston feels targeted by that.
I'm just saying that was that's a pretty straightforward standard safety brief that I used to get every fucking weekend. Okay, the only thing missing was don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
So Pike plans. All right. So is there? I mean, what kind of basic like things to do are there?
Let me get through this brief description / scene transition, and then we can address that.
Okay.
It'll make a little bit more sense chronologically speaking. So you hop on the Cheyenne, because I'm assuming at this point there are no questions, unless you're asking Zimborski's what you're trying to ask, because I know Pike would probably have an idea. He may not have been to one of these before, but he's got a good idea.
I don't know what's on a space R&R, but Pike does.
Okay, yeah. So the Cheyenne it takes time descending, and as you descend, you can see the massive mountain that is Tithonus, which is your destination. There's a tarmac set at the base of the mountain, and there's already a pair of Conestoga-class frigates and a smattering of other various smaller craft taking up most of the space. Your Cheyenne, lands on the far end from the frigates closer to the mountain, and a trio of arched entryways can be seen in the distance going into the base of the mountain. If you've ever watched Stargate SG-1, it's one of their stock images of going into... Actually, I think it's Cheyenne Mountain. Isn't that the name of it?
Yeah.
For NORAD or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how ironic, coincidental.
The Cheyenne Mountain Complex.
Yeah. But it's got that sort of feel, right? But there's like 3 separate arches. Once you guys land on the surface and you're still out on the tarmac, there are Marines that basically check you guys in. They give you a badge that will allow you into the actual rest facility, and they'll show you which of those 3 big entrances you're supposed to take to get there. Once you get to that entrance, there's a pair of armed and armored Marines that will actually check off your badges. They'll scan you in or whatever. And then just inside that entrance is a tram station with a waiting car. And I put in here autopilot. I'm thinking Jimmy Taxi Jimmy. The fuck was it? Jimmy Cab from Total Recall. You guys gotta know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
I can see it, but I'm trying to remember what it was called.
Yeah, Johnny Cabs, I think is what it was. Anyway, so yeah, you got one of those waiting, and so you guys are ready. Like the Johnny Cab turns just its head. 90 plus 45, was it 135 degrees back to where you guys are, and she's like, "Is this everybody in your party? Are you ready to go?" Far too excited.
Pike has decided that it is now vacation. His professionalism is now 0.
As opposed to the 1.5 it was a little while ago.
Hey, he took rank very seriously. He took rank and protocol pretty seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, now he's here. So he just looks at the robo driver and says, "Get fucking going. We are here and we are ready."
I think you get some sort of oh my god, Pike going, woo! I cannot imagine that. This pseudo serial killer just going, woo! Ric Flairing it up.
Okay.
I can't believe I hit that note
Just
twice.
so we're clear, Watt's agenda totally is on point and in a total agreement with Pike's new personality trait expression.
Yeah, so the tram starts rolling. It starts picking up speed pretty quick. And then you can see a counter, like maybe on the back of what otherwise would be the headrest of the car, of the seat in front of you. And it says you've got about 6 or 7 minutes until you guys get to your destination, as the car starts doing, casually going left and right, but eventually starting to pitch down. To answer Pike's out of character question, who here has been to a hotel, casino, resort? There you go. Now you have to put it through the Marine Corps' lens and the lens of their budget. This is nothing cool in the way that we would think it would be cool to go to, but it is.
Is there a local non-military staff and presence here, or is this just a Marine facility?
It is a Marine facility. There are civilians contracted to run this place. It is a hotel. It has a casino. When I say it has a casino, I want you to imagine it has the requisite handful of slot machines. Probably 1 or 2 of them are busted, but there's still a few there. There's a few tables, different games, and there's not much else as far as the casino is concerned. There is a swimming pool. There are a couple of different restaurants serving, one is basically, American style burger bar kind of thing. And then another one that's
probably a steakhouse.
Yeah, like a steakhouse and burgers. And then another one's got
the
like
third one's
seafood.
a buffet.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's a buffet. The third one
Yeah,
has
there's obviously a buffet.
Yeah.
We'll say Silver, hold on. Silver Stables. I think you get my reference there.
So
Mhm.
I want to
Dan's
clarify.
definitely did. I don't know if Luke did.
No.
I'm talking about. I'm
it's
making
a pun on. It's a.
It's a spin-off of Golden
spin-off.
Corral.
Oh, okay. So I want to clarify that I'm from a very small town,
That's fair.
and we have one strip club.
There is not a strip club here, but go ahead.
There's one
That'd
strip club,
probably be a bad idea.
and you don't go in the strip club. No one goes in the strip club, but it still runs.
Yeah.
So we know what's going on there. But the
Yeah.
point being, we just got our first casino, probably like 5-6 years ago, and it's pretty raunch. There's one floor to it. There's some hotels. There's always cops there. It's a terrible place. I've been there a couple times. I don't think that this particular R&R thing is any less fancy than what's around my town.
Yeah, so like it's obvious that the intent was to give military personnel this outlet, right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be the Grand Plaza quality.
It's
gonna
probably
look
better
like
than what
it,
I've seen.
right? It's gonna have the face of it, but when you go inside, it's like, okay, yes, that's a queen size bed that I alone get to sleep in. But this bed is not the most comfortable. Like, this bed will do. It's not comfortable. It's not exquisite, but it will do. That theme applies to everything. The pool is an Olympic-sized pool, but maybe it's a little bit warm or a little bit cold, and there's already 30 other people in it. You know what I mean? The casino. There's a handful of tables. The tables are almost stacked. In fact, there's a line for the machines, the slots.
Ooh.
It's not a long line. It's only 3 or 4 people, but it's constantly moving because somebody will sit down, they'll play a few hands, they'll lose, $100, and they'll be like, all right, fuck, I need to go get more money. They'll get up, the next guy in line takes their seat.
And they get a drink, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
yeah.
But it is a chance for people to go and do something that is not military. And
so
that's
Pike's
why.
plan.
Huh?
Pike's plan, and he wants to try to bring as many of you along as will come with him.
Okay.
Is he wants to get a bunch of alcohol, go to the first restaurant, continue drinking there, and have an appetizer. Move to the next restaurant, continue drinking, have the next appetizer, and just like run through everywhere that has food and continuously get more and more drunk, and then take us to the pool where we'll be super drunk in the pool and be loud and fucking obnoxious.
All right. So one of the things you were briefed on is that your badges have a budget assigned to them. And let me, I guess, maybe more accurately, your meals are free, right? But alcohol you have to purchase. Snacks you have to purchase. But you can use your badge because it has already been pre-programmed to link to your bank accounts. Like this was clearly set up, sometime shortly after you departed Corinth or whatever that last system was that you were in.
So I feel like Pike, because Pike has done this a couple of times, and we've already established that Pike has gotten contraband before. I mean, he just drank contraband with Edgar.
Yeah.
I
Before
feel
he
like
shagged her.
Watts would just reach into a pocket and pull out credit chits and slide them over to Pike.
Yeah, like just other people's badges that he just swiped.
He doesn't steal from people. He gambles with them, and then they lose egregiously.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? That's even better. So we're drinking, and every time we go to one of these places for an appetizer, we get Watts to do a chance game for the bill.
Yes.
To see who gets to pick up the tab.
Yeah, we just sit down with another group of Marines rambunctiously and see how much shit we pay for and how much shit Watts pays for.
All right, so the first restaurant, I think at the first restaurant, Pike just picks up the tab, right?
Yeah.
The second restaurant is when he gets the idea, because maybe there's a conversation somewhere along the way, and Pike gets the idea of like, hold on, I'm not paying for this next one. We're gonna do Russian roulette for this shit.
Like the first one, he's like, this is for being here today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow doesn't exist until it happens. Enjoy it. Just enjoy the fuck out of today. And we get to the next place, and he's finally drunk enough to go, wait a second. We can be smart.
Or we can be broke.
Now bear with me. I have an idea.
Anytime somebody says, bear with me, takes a drink, I have an idea, is never a good sign. How about this? Let's
see what Watts can do.
Let's have each of the 5 characters roll 1d6, and whoever ends up with the lowest roll, we will re-roll as needed. Whoever has the lowest roll picks up lunch of day 1.
I mean, Pike's just going to pay for that.
Or is that the first? Well, we'll just say the second meal, whenever that might be. We'll say dinner.
We're trying to see if Watts can fleece us a free meal
from someone else.
Oh, you want? Marines? In that case,
how many Marines are with us?
Oh, there's a handful around, and they're not all Marines either. Some of them are whatever the UA equivalent of. Like, I think there's like an aerospace force, and then obviously some civilian contractors.
Yeah, but we're doing hey, we sit down with another group like, hey, because Pike is super competitive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's just comes up with something and he thinks that we can pigeonhole Watts into like gambling his way through to be like, hey, let's do a game.
Hey, I want to roll Watts roll often enough. I can finally get him some points in manipulation today.
Sure.
Because he doesn't have it yet. He hasn't had a chance.
Yeah, Pike will just, he'll do the banter, our platoon's the best platoon, we're in the best company. And I bet you, he just like slaps the deck of cards down. I bet my Marines are better than yours. And he just like shoves Watts towards it. Tabs will be the bet. How's that? And just like, that's what he does to try to see how
so
far
Watts will see where Pike's going and take a moment to make an observation roll to see who looks the most fucked up,
the most susceptible to shenaniganry.
Yeah. I'm pushing that.
Push that.
Oh shit! Don't even worry about the stress. I feel like in this scenario, rolling stress is kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got 3 successes. What are you looking for here? Who?
He's looking
I
for
think
marks.
you find the one. He's a middle-aged guy, probably about 40, 45 years old. Looks like he once upon a time was a colonial Marine. Maybe even someone, who had served in a Marine Expeditionary Unit like this, but he's lost some of his edge. He's, his belly's gotten a little bit bigger. He's lost a lot of hair. He's short sleeve and tie. For some strange reason, no, I was not looking at you, Kane, or Luke for that matter. I'm just picturing this picture in my head, right? This kind of like almost pseudo business guy who once upon a time was a Marine, used to do cool guy shit, but you know it's been 15 years, and so now he's just a paper pusher par excellence, maybe. But Watts spots this dude, and he's kind of eating by himself off to one corner. And he only stands out.
He doesn't like straight up point him out, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
nudges Pike in that direction.
Yeah, and so I think what catches Watts' eye isn't so much that this guy is there, but the fact that this guy is kind of casually, almost subconsciously out of force of habit. Every now and again, you'll see he'll look up, then he'll look around, and then go back to his plate. He'll grab something to eat. He'll look up, he'll look around, because he's used to being observant. And so I think that's what actually catches Watts' attention. That repetition of eat, chew, swallow, look around. What's going on around me? He's also got his back to the corner of this particular eatery that you're in.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, what does Watts do?
Watts actually kind of just, you know.
You want someone to be, yeah, okay. All right, this guy's named Steve.
He shoulder checks a little, mildly shoulder checks Pike in that direction when he starts on this rant to encourage him to engage that particular person.
Okay. What does Pike do?
He does the look and head nod in that direction.
Yeah, you see this guy who looks like he might have been, if you weren't AW, this is what you would have looked like after having served a number of years in the MEU and then got out and went to go be a civilian contractor in an accountant office.
What's funny is with like how old Pike is and being an AW, Pike's probably technically served about as long as this guy has. Just because of the whole fucked up program. I think Pike is pretty dim. He doesn't understand how to play this particular game. Like, he knows that he wants Watts to do this because he knows Watts is good at this, but he doesn't know how to help because he's too dumb to know how to help.
And also, he's been drinking.
Yeah, so I kind
that
of
wouldn't affect his judgment. He thinks he's awesome even if he is drunk.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to do this.
Pike, yeah, Watts recognizes this and takes the situation at hand then and engages that dude.
What do you want to do to this guy? What are you trying to do? Get him to pick up the tab?
Literally just to pick up the tab for drinks. Not even food, just the drinks.
Okay. Manipulation. And I'm going to give this guy... Here, this is...
Yeah, I tried to find the easiest person I think to do this on.
Okay.
I feel like inviting him to the drinks would have been probably the first good step.
Yeah, inviting him into drinks and then having him pay the bill.
I think what happens is Watts sees him over there. Maybe he thinks that this guy is kind of lonely. Recognizes, because he keeps looking around every so often, right? That he must have some sort of, not just military training, but something a little bit more, and somewhere near special forces or something. And so Watts gets this feeling of camaraderie or brotherhood or something and invites the guy over. And he comes over and he sits there and joins you guys. And after a while, Watts starts trying to kind of like gently nudge him into, hey, why don't you pick up the next round of drinks? Hey, anybody want anything? I'm going to go get some drinks. Anybody want anything? And I think eventually we end up in a position where you're trying to get this dude to pick up the tab. So I'm going to need your manipulation roll against my manipulation roll. And I know how many dice I'm rolling. Go for it, Watts. What do you pull off? Ooh. Want to push that? Okay.
Okay, well, we got a success.
Yeah.
Hey, I figured the
first
first time might not go so well because he doesn't have skill training and Jesus.
I got
no.
2 successes.
Nah, so I guess we split it normally.
Yeah,
then.
I think
cover
that's
this
what
guy's drinks.
At first he starts. I think so. What happens is Steve. His name is Steve Thompson, by the way. Totally original.
Nice. I like it.
I think initially he starts to maybe reach for his badge, and then he's like, "No, hold on." And he sees the number at the bottom of the bill, and he's like, "Hold on, hold on."
No, you know
he splits out his section of the bill.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I have a fun idea. So like he reaches for it and he grabs it and he's looking at it. And Pike knows we've all been drinking here, and Pike is truly stupid. Like I don't get a lot of opportunities to ham up how dumb Pike is.
Yeah.
And he has no idea what Watts is trying to do right now. And he just suggested that Watts find a way to get our bill to go away. But this is one guy, so Pike doesn't think he's the mark. So that guy goes for the bill, and Pike goes, no. You did your time, brother. And Pike pays for this one.
I think that's definitely better than the shitty thing that I was gonna come up with. That's fucking amazing. Pike is like, hey, let's get that guy to pay for our tab. An hour later, all right, I guess I'll pay for. No, man, I got this. No, sit down.
That's definitely a drunk moment right there.
And I like that. I like that we get up to leave, and as we're walking out, as soon as we cross out of the restaurant, Pike looks over once and goes, "Fuck."
Do we want to take a stop over at the tables and for some money acquisition?
That was amazing. That was amazing. Also, side note, I rolled that 1d6 to see how many dice I was going to roll, and you're lucky it went up with 3 instead of 6, because that would have been hilarious. Watch, I would have rolled 6, and it had 0 successes.
Uh-huh.
Alright,
Yeah,
what else? What's next?
I mean, we find ways to pick up money along the way and keep drinking. At some point, like as the night goes on and Pike keeps drinking more and more, he's earned money longer, and he doesn't have things to spend money on, right? Like he's been being paid for a while, and as far as he knows, he's never gonna get out, so he hasn't invested in anything.
Yeah,
So he's got the money to get.
You're getting paid, and you're not having to spend anything. So,
Yeah.
what is this concept? Money? What is that?
As far as he's concerned,
Dogecoin with it.
his entire enlisted paycheck in his mind is just his drinking allowance.
That makes a lot of sense.
So at some point, as we continue along, like he's ending up in less and less of his uniform.
Just so we're clear,
we
he
get to the
loses pieces.
No, they're not
Somehow,
lost.
Wescott
He just keeps taking
picks
them
them
off.
up and puts them in the bag that she is somehow still carrying because she didn't leave it in her room for some reason.
Oh, you're
I
that
like the
guy.
idea-
You're that guy,
Yeah.
the one that walks around with the assault pack all day.
Yes,
I like the idea.
Wescott
that
is.
I like the idea that Pike is getting warm and he takes something off and says, "It's so hot," and then just like absent-mindedly throws it at Wescott.
Wescott just goes.
So by the time we finish the restaurant run, right, he's in his boots, his silkies, and his t-shirt.
Oh, man.
Okay. So how many restaurants in do we think it is before Wescott suffers the failure of stand-up checks due to being the smallest person on the team?
Pike's gonna keep trying to stick alcohol in your face.
Yeah.
He thinks he's being a good wingman by making you drink too much.
All right.
Oh, she will probably keep drinking and then just be sleeping on the table
Yeah.
at this point.
So by this point, it is roughly dinner time. You guys have had plenty of food, plenty of booze, plenty of whatever else. I want.
Perfect time to swim.
Huh?
Yeah,
Perfect time to swim.
it's time to get in the pool.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and give me 1d6 roll each. For the 3
What's-
main, not all 5, but your main characters.
Okay.
Somebody got a 6. Winston got a 6. 3 and a 1. Okay.
That's an even spread right there.
It really is. Who rolled the 3? Okay. Wescott, you going to the pool?
She's following along,
Is-
yes.
Okay.
Is Wescott like sloppy drunk at this point?
Oh, probably.
I'm gonna just like pick up Wescott and put her on a floaty of some kind. So she's not
Those inflatable ring floats?
Yeah, because she's probably too drunk to swim. So I'll
Floaty
just like
arms.
I'll
Well,
just
she
stuff her in
has
it.
only 2 strength and 4 hit points. She is, yeah.
So I'm gonna put her in. Like I'm just gonna put her in the tube so she can't drown.
As you're being left to this flotation device, Wescott, and occasionally more drinks
Her
appear in your
boots
hand.
do end up on the dry spot next to her pack.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
The pack, on
She
the
is
other
not
hand,
walking
is
around
in the
in
wet
wet boots.
spot.
She wouldn't have realized, but
No.
the boots are dry.
Yeah,
That's the
boots are
important part.
dry. Your pack, not so much. But while
In
you're
her
trying to
drunken
float
mind, the boots
around,
being dry is the best thing ever.
while you're floating around on this inflatable tube of some cartoon animal, with drinks occasionally reappearing in your hand,
There'd be like a
No, she still drinks them.
flamingo head coming off of it. Or
Oh yeah,
something as she's
absolutely.
leaning against, like,
Flamingo,
pillow.
a swan, something.
Something
a dolphin.
ridiculous.
Maybe it's a dolphin. Who knows? Your running buddy happens to wade on up to you with a drink in his hand for you. Hey, so I noticed you were drinking these weird blue-colored tropical type drinks. Figured I'd get you a new one. I'm Tom, by the way.
Pike's in the background. That's classified as a poison. It's awesome. And then he like turns and leaves them alone again. And he's like downing another one. With the
He
others.
downs another beer.
Well, she finishes hers, takes the one very carefully, doesn't realize what she does. Kind of looks at the empty one and goes, "I'm not quite sure what to do with this one now."
Tom
She's
takes it
that
from
level
you.
drunk.
Yeah. Tom takes it from you. Yeah,
Thank
don't
you.
worry, I'll take care of it. What's your name? She doesn't remember her
She
name.
just looks and goes, "Wescott, Octavia Wescott."
Oh, Octavia. Wow, I don't think I've ever met Octavia before. That's a cool
Oh
name.
God! Are we doing drunken flirting? Because this sounds like
He's
drunken
not drunk,
flirting.
but he's definitely flirting.
Mhm.
Pike is trying to be a good wingman. He's like
He's drunk as shit. That's why I'm waiting. Go ahead, please.
Well, no,
Please.
that's why this could go hilariously bad. But so he's keeping. Obviously, he's close enough he can hear because he made his interjection before making a show of leaving them alone.
Yeah.
But
I
he's
just-
keeping an
I'm
eye.
making
so
a
that-
show of leaving him alone from 5 feet away.
Yes.
basically.
I just wanna I just wanna get in with Warren because of the golden retriever energy. I wonder how drunk he is.
Is he trying to keep up with Pike?
He's been trying.
Oh,
Pike's
yeah,
a big
Watson,
dude.
Warren.
He's very
prob-
drunk.
I'm
Warren
pretty
might
sure
be
Watson
passed
and
out on the
Warren
patio
are
furniture.
sitting next to each other on like the beach chair next to the pool because they're drunk off their asses too.
This is success. He's holding his own.
He's not. Doesn't have poisoning yet.
Doesn't have poison yet, but he's floating on a floaty too, and somewhere's along the pool.
He's probably
So
by the
Pike's-
edge.
Pike's wingman energy right now
Yeah.
is if Wescott tries to leave, he's going to go over and talk to her.
Hmm.
But otherwise, he's not stepping in on anything that happens, like anything they talk about or whatever. She's her own woman. But if she tries to leave, he's going to check in.
So you can make an observation roll if you like, Rodance. But it should be
Sure.
easy to determine, even in your inebriated state. I'm just gonna give it to you because it's clear
Yeah,
this
I
dude
feel like she
I think what it
wouldn't
is
get
she doesn't
is
pick
so
up
drunk,
on.
She wouldn't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, I think if she was sober, she would get it. That this guy is definitely very much interested, and not just as a quick fling or anything like that, but like he's legit interested in her. He doesn't. He hangs out with you the whole night as long as you let him.
Mhm.
He will be floating. In fact, at one point, he gets out of the pool to get more drinks, and he comes back with a floaty as well. But he also comes back with like a tray that can float on the pool, and there's a couple of drinks. I don't know how this works physics wise, but I feel like there's some sort of platform that you can get that will float even with a few drinks on it. And
Yeah,
so he'll just spend the rest of the time next to you. At one point, he probably reaches for your hand. Would you stop him?
No, she is probably in the excited chattering about things that she knows she's allowed to talk about, like
Oh yeah.
what her siblings are probably doing because they send her letters occasionally. The
Yeah.
excitement for the new computers and components and stuff coming and things of that
Well, it turns
nature.
out that Tom Stevenson is something of a tech guy as well. He's not actually a Marine. He's a he's something of a tech consultant. He's part of the ship crew in one of those weird like God, what's the word I'm looking for here? He's just in one of those weird roles. He's not a combatant, but he's a civilian consultant that sometimes rides on and does like inspections and some tech updates, that kind of thing.
He's a contractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a contractor.
But he does at some point as you guys are conversing through however long you're here, he does say that he's going to be on the Tam for a little while. There's a few more updates that he needs to install, and looks like he'll probably be on there for the next, at least the next mission, out of character wise. Whatever your next mission might be, he'll be on the ship. Oh.
She is super happy to have a fellow nerd to talk to.
Oh yeah,
Ross doesn't
and when
really
you
count
start
as a
talking
computer
tech,
nerd.
whatever tech you're willing to share, not only is he with you, neck and neck.
Okay, she
and-
follows tech news in the civilian sector, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what she chooses to talk about.
Yeah, he's right there with you, and you get the impression he actually knows a lot more than what he's letting on.
I'm pretty sure that everyone around here has been in the Marines long enough to know not to fucking talk about shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's obvious too that he's not trying to pump you for information either. He's just following a lot. He's letting you lead the
Well,
conversation.
she's like oversharing about the because
She's drunk. Of course, she's gonna overshare.
Mm-hmm. She probably overshares about the fact that she has her siblings, because she has non-biological siblings because she and the other orphans from this orphan home, because it's backstory nonsense.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it's her and like 3 or 4 other people
Yeah.
who grew up in the same pod and they count themselves as siblings.
Yeah.
So yeah, that they literally gave her a cute cat animal plushie on when she went on deployment, and she still has it in her locker she still has it in her bag over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you tell him about?
She's probably
do you tell him about the stuffy or the plushie?
Yes, she is probably drunk enough. She will be very excited to wander over to her bag of stuff. She realizes it's sitting. The wet bag is sitting next to her very dry boots, and she does this super drunk, careful of. She's like kneels down and grabs it really slow and looks and moves it a little bit until it's in a dry spot, and then very carefully, totally doesn't remember where she set her drink at all. She shut it down. Now it's just gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
She isn't even gonna look at. And then she like opens it up and shuffles through the random articles of Pike clothing and into the Hurricane clothing.
It's been like 15 minutes and I forgot about Pike's clothing being in your bag.
And she's like, "It's so adorable. Look at
I like the idea that this guy is like watching, waiting to see whatever it is she's trying to pull out, and she's just pulling out Pike's clothes from her bag.
It falls out my clothes. It's like, it's adorable. Because of course she brings her like Theomida with her.
Yeah, I think he thinks that. I think he, and this will be the last little bit here.
I'm the only one carrying a bag at this point out of everybody in my immediate area.
I think
so
he
I probably
mentioned
have
something
miscellaneous
about
bits and pieces of other people's stuff.
Yeah, I think he mentioned something about you being. I think he calls you Mother Hen at one point.
I brought them all back.
Yeah. And
That's
then
probably as close as she says anything military-wise.
Yeah.
Is she is so excited to keep bringing them all back.
Yeah. And then he says, when he sees the plushie, I think he's like, "Oh, that's adorable," and he makes a indirect reference to how you're always looking out for other people and how admirable that is, but he doesn't really drop like a big bombshell with it. Like he points it out, says something else, and then he's completely off the topic again.
Guess she is so much more drunk. She probably is not walking at this point. She probably is very hesitantly like, wobble.
Yeah, he will definitely. He'll be not handsy because I almost said that, but he'll have his hands on her, trying to keep her steady and everything. For the other two, you guys rolled training events. So instead of training, I think Pike and Winston, you guys get into a splash fight of some sort. At some point, somebody splashes the other. It escalates from there to the point where
this
one of you, and I will let you guys figure it out,
is to pull her stuff into the further dry spot because they started splashing.
Yeah.
And then she realizes she can show off plushie because her siblings are awesome.
Yeah. I'll let you guys figure out which one of you does this, but one of you is like, fuck this, gets out, and then proceeds to do the biggest cannonball that you could possibly muster. I'll let you guys figure out which one pulls that off.
We know who's gonna have the cannonball attitude here.
Well, I'm thinking Pike, but also like maybe Winston has something to prove. He's like, no, fuck you, I got this, and then Winston's trying to do. So I'll leave it up to you guys to figure out who's gonna do it. You can roll for it if you want.
So Wescott is currently outside of the pool and with Buddy, right?
Yeah, by the time you get to the cannonball part, she is trying to find dry space and showing off the plushie with Tom Stevenson.
All right.
Not to be confused with Steve Thompson.
No.
So we've been here.
Tom Stevenson.
So
it's dinner. It's probably like 9 or 10 o'clock at night by this point.
So we've
Warren's
been here
gonna
less
be
than
like
10 hours.
Yeah.
so Warren's gonna be like let's see here. Octagon South Bank. Are you good?
Got South Bank.
Hey, what's the attention turns that way? Pike's gonna get out of the pool and walk over to the guy.
Fuck, I already forgot his name. Tom.
Tom Stevenson.
Yeah.
Tom Stevenson.
I fucked myself here.
And I'm just gonna I'm just gonna walk over, the gigantic man that I am, and put a hand on the
Soaking
far
wet.
soaking wet. Put a hand on the far shoulder and pull him in for a side hug.
I think he resists, and then he's kind of like, okay, I'm being indoctrinated or something like that. He doesn't say any of this, of course, but like you get kind of that look of like, what the hell, and then like, okay, this is weird.
I
But
probably look up and
am
go,
I being
"Hey, Pike!"
accepted by
They
the
go back to
tribe?
petting Stuffy.
And Pike says quietly to him, "She can't walk. She's not going with you now. She got 24 hours."
Ooh.
I think he swirls out from under you in a one I don't want to roll for because he won't win most likely. But
No.
I mean,
like,
Pike's
and
not trying to imprison him. He was just
yeah,
trying to
yeah. I think he kind of slips
drunkenly
out.
bring him in for like a hey, you can't have her now, but you got 24 hours.
Yeah, I think he slips out and he's like, I can respect that. I wasn't, and it like, I think he starts to say I wasn't gonna do anything, but then he realizes how dumb that might have sounded to any sort of protective figure, and he's just like, okay, yeah, you want a drink?
Yeah, I'll take a drink.
It's like, all right, fuck yeah, let's go. And he will come back a few minutes later with a bucket of beers.
Ooh.
But like, he takes one out of the bucket, just chugs the whole bottle, and then he jumps backwards into the pool, and that's the cannonball. He takes the empty bottle into the pool with him. He just like thumbs over and just like jumps in.
Winston, you have been outplayed with this cannonball from nowhere. This RKO cannonball.
Did he land like basically on me or like away from me?
He was trying to land as close to as he could without trying to land on you.
All right,
Like
so
maximum splash.
I feel like he sweeps back and forth a little bit because of the waveage.
Yeah.
And then he's just kind of like,
Oh, he hits him?
yeah, just like a hard-ish punch, but not like a like
Okay,
you're
a
drunk
playful
and
hit.
you're not really
It's a playful
you're
hit.
not really sure how hard you're hitting. But
Yeah.
like a
It's okay. Pike's drunk. He doesn't know how hard you're hitting or anything.
He probably doesn't feel it.
Yeah, Pike will have fun with this. You have some like playful shoving and dunking for a bit.
Oh yeah.
yeah, okay. All right. We can
You
water
probably
fight until
stop
one of us
because
drowns.
Wescott realizes you're doing this and yells, "No dunking."
No dunking.
He's just
Yeah,
yelling with one
no, that's
hand
what
and
Wescott
Bill-
thinks she says. What it actually sounds like, no dunking.
Pike will just like flip you off with one hand and go for a dunk with the other.
All right, I resist.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Okay.
All right, I was
Oh,
actually
God.
I was actually reading my notes. So I think I missed something in the last 10 seconds there. What's going on now? What are you guys rolling? Are you trying to dunk each other?
I went for a dunk and he's resisting this dunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
let's go.
Because I yell at them
Let's
to
count
stop
that.
dunking each other because
Are you pressing
know
the
it
dunk?
seems the very mom
I guess
thing
I
to
will
say.
press my dunk button.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we got here?
I have 6 successes.
You have 6 successes.
Yeah.
Did Winston push or was it only?
I mean, Pike pushed.
Okay, yeah, Winston,
Pike
you
pushed.
can push. You got
Pike's
2
too
so far.
competitive not to.
Where my mouse is so stupid. What am I at? Winston
You're at
post
2
combat.
successes right
yeah.
now. You guys are effectively on vacation. Ooh, that sucks. Yeah.
I
Nope.
go under.
Winston, you go under, and for the briefest of moments, now you're only under for about 3 or 4 seconds, but you hit that moment of like, is this motherfucker gonna let me up? And then you're back up over the water again.
And Pike's just laughing, and he brings you in for a hug, and then goes get another beer.
Tom is
I
just
feel
sitting.
emasculated.
I think at this point, Tom is like, he's kind of watching Wescott, but he's not. He's trying not to engage too much because he doesn't want to give the wrong impression. Because like he's legit interested in her, but he doesn't want to make it creepy. So he's just sitting on the edge of the pool, his legs hanging in the water, sipping on one of those buckets of beers.
I'm debating if it occurs to Wescott at this level of drunkenness that buckets of waters is probably the next best step.
Yes, probably. But the
Yes,
question is,
yes.
does she get the bucket of water or the bucket of beer? Not paying attention.
She will try very carefully to go get bucket of water.
All right,
She
I want
probably
you to
will
I want you to
recruit-
roll wits, but I'm going to make you roll wits -2 because of your current inebriation. And if you
She
fail, you're
recruits
getting
Tom
beer.
Stevenson to assist her in acquiring said bucket of water.
Okay, well
Of
that'll
waters.
make it a -1. I don't know how assisting works. We'll just go with that -1 because he's also somewhat intoxicated, but not as far gone as Wescott.
So base modifier -1.
Correct.
Roll.
Okay, yeah, you come back with waters. Surprisingly.
What's this bullshit?
She looks very carefully at Pike, going, "Hangover medicine."
Except it comes out like hangover medicine.
Pike just like stands up tall in the pool, just hangover's my bitch. Give me another beer.
Oh, that so sounds like Pike too.
She turns to Winston and goes, "Hangover medicine?"
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna have you guys do a squad thing too, but I think we're good there, and we're getting to the point where
I mean, we're doing a squad thing.
yeah, this is a squad thing basically. Yeah. So everybody that's been drinking needs to roll stamina.
That's literally everyone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I win.
Okay.
I win.
You. Who was that? Watts and then. Okay. Don't worry about
need to roll.
Yeah, don't worry about stress. You're on. Oh, ooh, who was that? Pike.
Yes.
13
Yes!
dice even.
Yes. Is
I think
Pike
Pike
going
wins.
to drunk
Pike-
rampage?
Pike. At what point is there anybody else that still needs to roll? There we go.
Fuck you, Wescott does better than Pike. That's
yeah,
kind of creepy.
Pike. You drink yourself. I think it's the bucket of beers that did you in.
Like everybody else swapped to water. He's like, well, I guess I have to finish all of this.
Yeah. Yep. Next thing you know, it is probably about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Everybody else continues to drink and do whatever, but Pike, you have no memory. You don't know what happened. You have to check
I
in with your
keep
friends.
track of Pike.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, listen, he
It's not
hit
like
the
you
blackout
can-
point at this
It's
point.
not like you can get up and walk after him if he storms off anywhere.
Yeah, I think the short version here is that Pike hits blackout. Whatever happens, Pike has no idea. You guys get to tell him at 8 or 9 o'clock the next morning what Pike did.
Where does Pike wake up?
That's a great question. Where
I
does
have a
Pike
feeling
wake up,
that
guys?
they are probably all currently sleeping on the floor in Westcott's room because she would
Oh.
not have allowed them to wander off. She would have been very
How
upset
have
if
you-
anyone had
How
wandered off.
have you stopped a like unreasonably drunk Pike from going somewhere?
Wait until he stumbles.
You getting like wrestling?
I asked Pike to carry me to my room, and then it was literally, I think how she would pull that one off.
I think Tom.
Because she
Would
thinks
you
Pike
allow?
would probably do it if she asks.
Would you allow Tom to stay with the group, or would you kind of like?
I mean, we are collectively sleeping on the floor, so I don't think she would care either way.
Okay, yeah, Tom will wake
She's
up.
not allowing her Marines to leave. She gets up very upset if they try to leave her line of sight.
I think at
when
some
she's
point
drunk.
before Pike actually wakes up, Tom comes to and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna head out and go find my room and sleep the rest of this off. Holy shit, that was a fun time. I'll see you guys on the ship." And he's not talking to anybody in particular. He's just like completely out of it. He's so dehydrated, so much headache.
We probably let the civilians sleep on the bed.
Yeah. He just
I think
grabs
that's
his
why everyone
things.
else is on the floor.
He does a quick pat down to make sure he's got his badge and just heads on out.
AKA room key
Yeah.
and everything else.
Yeah. But yeah, this badge is obviously multi-purpose. At some point, you guys end up back at the tarmac, and you take your flight up to Tambatam. And I was gonna have this play out slightly different, but at any rate, what happens is this: me see. When you arrive on the ship and you check in, Mother. Go ahead.
It's pretty like we did the whole thing. He woke up in the morning super drunk and all like it. He probably woke up still drunk.
Oh,
continues
probably.
drinking.
Probably.
Pike is a riot. He has no fucks to give about anything military. He's just there to party, have a good time, relax. He does keep an eye out for Eckhart. Otherwise, he's going to keep drinking and keep trying to get everybody else drunk. But when we go to when we show up at the tarmac, like he smells like coffee. His uniform is ironed. It's very clear that Pike's vacation has ended.
Yeah.
Wescott pulls a clean uniform out of the bottom of her bag and irons it, and it also has coffee.
Yeah. That sounds about right. You arrive
Watts
back.
very carefully does not iron anything. Just so we're clear, Watts rolls up in wrinkly ass clean clothes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Probably not buttoned all the way.
Luke, how does Winston and Warren show up? Are they getting pressed out, or are they just kind of showing up as they are? Are they still drunk? You're muted.
I am muted. The thing is that I forgot to see if this would work, but we could bring Never Sleep, I guess, with us. But that never.
I'll tell you what.
occurred to me at the
Have
time.
Winston roll. Ooh, excuse me. We can retro. Jesus Christ.
No, we're not gonna wreck on that. But
Okay.
I'm just saying for next time, if he survives long enough, this will
Yeah.
be.
That would make things so much more interesting. Oh my god.
Just
36 hours of drunken debauchery.
Yeah, we'll just abuse the Never Sleep. We'll just sleep and cry. It'll be fine.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's what all the good guys do, right? They sleep when they're in
So
cryo.
they're gonna show up pretty pressed, pretty proper, trying to hold their stuff together. I think Warren actually succeeded twice his stamina roll, but Winston's probably gonna be a little bit more of a headache.
Yeah. Okay.
I like to think that Pike's failure was because of he drank so much more than anyone else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially at the end when everybody's like,
he just runs with only alcohol and only an R&R, so he has so much money to drink with.
Oh yeah. I think it's definitely something along. Especially at the end when everybody else started drinking water, Pike was like, "Water? Get out of here, wussies!" Yeah. So you arrive back on the Tam at about 2100 hours, and when you do, Staff Sergeant Zimborski and Lieutenant Casados are nowhere to be seen. They are no longer on the ship, and neither is Colonel Hanrahan. In fact, the only person that is a familiar face is Lieutenant Eckhart, who is unaware of any major changes. When you check in with Mother, you receive the following information. 2nd Section, 2nd Platoon Kilo Company is hereby ordered to prepare to resume combat operations in theater. Specific details will be released when they are available. Lights out at 2300. Wake up at 0530. For hygiene and physical fitness, questions can be directed to Mother in the command section of the ship. Sergeant Pike has authorization. So, Sergeant Pike, you have been awarded authorization to enter the command section of the ship.
Okay. Well, that's concerning to Pike because that means that he's the ranking grunt on board.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So he's not going to say it out loud, but Pike knows that this means that we're not expecting Lieutenant Casados or Sergeant Zimborski to come back on board before we leave. So he'll just look to the others and say, go for a run, then do a weapons check.
Roger.
And I'll head to the command section.
What do you want to do in the command section?
I want to see if there's any more information about any preparation information or any operation details that are available yet. Any special equipment dispositions or
I like to imagine that at this point you go in that little weird octagonal room that has the interface with Mother, the direct interface, like in Alien.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there.
Southwater.
That was amazing, by the way. And you are seated at the computer terminal, and you're chatting with Mother, trying to find out more information. The only thing that keeps coming back is no information available at this time. More to follow as it develops. Please stand by. And that's pretty much the answer you get to whatever you may type in, or perhaps even speak out loud. And I'm not sure if that was an option for the interface.
I don't think if there's anything else.
Pike would recognize. Go ahead.
No, go.
Pike would recognize that what has effectively happened with that initial blurb you were given when you're, to be prepared to resume combat operations, whatever, that was effectively a warning order. But there was no additional details. I know you know what a warno is. Although usually a warno has a lot more information than, hey, be ready.
Yeah. Okay. I'll leave the command section, or I'll leave Mother, and I'll just go to like my regular station in my closet.
Okay.
To check on the status of that decoration. It's still pending approval?
Surprisingly, it comes back with General Vaughn's signature of approval.
Okay.
It may be noted that having General Vaughn's signature on what otherwise might have been a battalion or regimental level command is a little disconcerting / surprising.
Yeah.
Pike would probably pick up on that.
Yeah, no. But it's also important that this happens, so...
yeah, I'm not going to fight it because he needs it.
Well, no, he's just, like, it's not going to stop what he was planning to do, it's just, eyebrow raising.
Yeah.
So he'll prepare the package, and he'll go to the printer so he can get the metal.
Yep.
And he'll call everyone to the flight deck.
Okay. Everybody going to the flight deck? Anybody got anything they want to do other than their standard weapon prep and all that?
No, I don't think Wescott is going to get a chance to spar with Pike, and if the next mission's dropping in our laps like that, too bad.
I mean, we've got a few hours, right?
So she probably would in between.
Yeah, I mean, other than, like, if you want, you can have everybody assemble on the flight deck, do your quick little spar, and then do your ward, or something. Like, it's like by the time you get everybody assembled, it's probably closing on 22, going on 22:15, or 10:15. Lights out supposed to be at 11.
So yeah, I call everyone to the flight deck. Attention to orders.
Ooh, I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, right. And I'll read the package. And call Warren forward and give him his decoration in front of the group.
What did you? I know you put him in for a commendation, and I don't know if the book gives any solid guidance as far as specific awards. I think it has a few listed, but
it has a couple that were previously mentioned in order to give you an idea of what's more or less.
Are we going for something like what's the word I'm looking for? Actually, no. In the Army, you could get an Archon with V, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Archon with Valor device.
Yeah, because what he did was definitely worth more than an achievement, so I'm going for Archon.
Yeah.
He didn't do enough, I think, to justify a Bronze Stars. So.
It would be a hard push. Although killing that Bolshoi with the knife throw, or whatever he killed with the knife throw, was definitely helpful to the mission. It was not the only thing that stopped or completed the mission. So.
Yeah. But it goes. The decoration for Warren's edification involves him, in order to preserve the continuity of the mission, willingly engaging a deadly opponent in unarmed combat with no weapons. Just taking shows great personal bravery and valor in the face of near certain death for the protection of the mission and his comrades.
Yeah.
His actions reflect great credit upon himself and the Colonial Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada.
Yep.
So yeah, give you your medal.
All right. Talk to me about this sparring that Wescott is. I think at this point, by the time you finish and you give him his award, and everybody gets a chance to clap him on the back, shake his hand, all that. I think Wescott is just brimming with energy. Young toddler excited for Christmas. Golden retriever energy to get this chance to roll around on the ground.
She's worked so hard on her close combat skills since Pike told her she wants to show him off. That's basically what it boils down to.
All right,
he's
battle
standing
royale.
there while people are giving Warren an attaboy. Like, what do you come talk to Pike?
Yeah.
How do you want to do it?
So, yeah, she probably like in between the moments of stuff going on, she's like, Sergeant Pike. It's been working on my close combat skills and ranged combat skills as you've requested.
Good.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to. Can we spar
Trying to
again?
make the first move.
I'm just trying to think through the variations of how we would say this, and I'm like, let's go with the blunt one.
Yeah, we got enough time.
Huh.
We get back to the troop bay. We can shove a table out of the way and do this again.
Mhm.
Let's see if what you've been learning has been worth anything.
Yeah. She's just very excited for the chance to work on skills. She definitely, after being drunk for a solid 36 hours, is now like hyper.
Oh yeah.
Gotta work off that sugar somehow.
Oh yeah. All right, let's see some close quarters here.
Mm.
We'll even let Wescott make the first roll.
Yeah, Pike just stands ready and waits for you to start.
Okay, so
Shirt top or blouse is off.
Yep, blouse is off, hands wrapped.
Yep.
yep. So I should just be able to click on the unarmed attack. I got dropped on my sheet, and that should work then.
Yep,
Good,
just shoot your hand like a gun.
Okay. Would you
All
like
right.
to push that before he makes his
Yes.
comment?
Oh,
That sucks.
All right.
Well, this is happening.
Thank God he's not on Nova. Oh. Ooh. That many dice and only that, huh? Oh yeah, the push. I forgot. All right.
Okay, so
What
3
do you want?
successes, which cancels your 1 and leaves 2 left over.
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't
you
break
go
my
to
one
punch him.
shot.
So you go for it, and he grabs your wrist, pulls you forward, and just slings an elbow into your face with his other hand for 3 damage.
I mean, she's still going.
And it just sort of shoves you off.
Yeah.
How many hit points do you have? Or
I have
whatever
4
it is.
total.
Okay. All right. Obviously, this will be non-lethal, so when you hit 0, you're just gonna pass out.
No. She's going to second win because remember it's there
There
now.
you fucking go. There you go. All right, keep going then. As you're
it's-
ready.
Well, now it's Pike's turn.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is Pike's turn. Sorry.
Well, I'm not going to push it.
I was
'cause
gonna
can't push it.
say I feel like rolling stress is really not gonna work out, but oh, I think you notice something in her stance as she prepares to, as she like basically thumbs off the elbow and looks at you and is like, "All right, motherfucker," and I think you see something in her that you haven't seen before, and it gives you this little bit of a twitch.
I think
she would go to counter.
Okay, go ahead. Roll your close combat.
Is it? Yeah.
That doesn't cancel anything.
Yeah, so I think she'd have to push it.
Yeah. There's 2 right there.
You get punched in the face for only 2 damage. So
she then has to. Mm-hmm.
I think that the nervous twitch is like the look of seriousness in her eye. It almost sets Pike off to murderous rampage. Because it's like, this is real. Wait, no, relax.
It happened last time.
Give me this. Yeah.
That same thought process last time. Like, he almost got set off into overkill or whatever you had before that. And you had to hold yourself back.
I like the idea that Pike is trying to hold himself back because he's so used to just going hard and killing things that he's just like, don't kill your Marine. As good as this is, don't kill your Marine.
jeez.
Yeah, so you punch. So yeah, she goes to block. You still clip her. She goes down on one knee, does the head shaky thing, does the second wind roll. She stands back up with 2 hit points.
Before you
and
attack,
then goes to punch you again.
Before you attack, I want Pike to roll wits, and I think this is in the recognition of whether or not or I think this is to recognize that she just should have been felled and she just didn't. And now, how does he respond? Like, how does he process?
I feel like that's
Like
more
a
of an
potato?
observation than a win for him.
Do what now?
I'd say that's more of an observation or even a medical aid almost rather than a wits.
Yeah, I
Because
can
it's
see
he's
that.
perceiving
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Do you want to do observation and reroll that, or are you fine with like just being
Oh.
oblivious to it?
I'll roll observation.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, you definitely consciously recognize that she just stood up after you had to hold back from pummeling her to death, and she's like, "Oh, I'm ready for more. I didn't hear no bell."
Well, go for your attack.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I think you need to roll some stress, and still no successes, by the way.
Yeah,
Or yeah, you're fine though.
yeah. I'm so
Okay,
You're
roll
overpowering your
last
mic.
Oh, no, actually, my voice does that too. So I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
how?
Yeah,
I roll
narratively, that
that
would have been a great
D-dice
time
again.
for Wescott to like redeem herself, but no, instead
Yeah, I'm a little
Wescott.
upset about that.
I think to some level, I think
She
you
probably has
charge
like
in.
a nick on her forehead and is bleeding in her eyes.
Yeah, I think you try to charge in or something, and you slip, and it gives Pike an opportunity to make his attack.
Pike sees this wild swing that has no chance of hitting, and since he didn't have to concentrate on blocking, he's going to aim.
Oh,
That's like
Why
four
do I
successes.
feel like that's about to be very unpleasant?
That's a total of 6 successes.
He punches you in the face for 7 damage.
Now you can, correct me if I'm wrong, she can do some sort of block parry sort of thing.
She can still roll the block to reduce that.
Yeah. It's not helpful.
But with her rolls, I don't know if it'll matter.
Roll that stress
Well,
just to get it cleared. Okay, you're good. Yeah. Well,
that
you
7 becomes a 5.
yeah. So
she's still
you've
flat on
got
her
like
ass.
this. You've got
I mean,
effectively.
I don't think I could keep standing up with second wind because of how it's
No.
written. It's once per
I
turn.
think it's just one time that you can do it, isn't it?
It's like
Crazy.
what a turn is about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
it's
once per turn.
basically once per fight.
So I think what I'm hearing here is Wescott attempts to block or mitigate this, but still ends up on her back, knocked out. That's what it sounds like to me.
yeah.
When she wakes up, she's going to be pissed at herself.
Pike looks
The
down.
attending physician is gonna go help.
The attending physician.
Pike looks down and just like cracks his knuckles. Medic.
Because she's like down and I like out.
Oh yeah, she's sleeping right now.
I thought I knocked her out, but she only dropped to a knee. So I don't know if that was a TKO before I hit her the second time.
I think technically she should have just not gotten up again. Like if this was like in front of me, but it's at about this point as Winston is going over there to try to rouse her and make sure she's going to be okay with no significant brain damage. That you get a notice. There is a sudden assembly called for in the hangar, or all of the MEU personnel remaining on the ship so far at this point, which is basically you guys and Eckhart and her crew.
Smelling Salter real quick. She's got to get up now.
I'm gonna do a thing or two, hopefully. Or we're gonna do a weekend at Bernie's with this one.
Okay, to be totally honest, I feel like the weekend at Birdie's is the much more entertaining option, but I'm not going to force you guys to do that.
I mean, is he really going to have to make a roll to Smelling Salter?
No, I'm just going to hand wave it. I don't even care what the rules say. You can wake her up if you want. Or you can roll it. Yep, yeah, she's awake. You've got one hit point left.
It's like as soon as she starts getting conscious, I reach down so she can grab my forearm and I can pick her up.
Yeah.
We got a briefing. We can talk about it afterwards.
She does
Let's go. So, like, he's not bothering.
She kind of just follows Pike like a duckling because she is not awake yet.
She's kind of waddling in behind Pike.
She's just
I
like
mean,
she's
Are you?
just
Do
waddling.
you have a
She's
finger?
just
Do you have a finger in his
vacantly-
belt loop?
I don't think she could get away with that, but she'd be real tempted. She kind of is vacantly like following behind him because he told him to follow because she was told to follow him.
Yeah, yeah,
So it said to assemble.
Her brain
now,
cells will
right?
return as
Yes.
she's walking.
yeah.
Okay.
Like you need to
so
get
Pike's
like.
not stopping for anything. The wraps are still on. The tops are still off.
Yep.
Like we're just going.
Yep.
Her blood is still on my hands.
Yeah. This is
She
gonna
kind
make
of
for an
is
interesting
like-
encounter here in a second. In fact, let me change the scene here.
Pocket.
And I'm so I need you guys. Kind of just drag and drop these guys. Come on. There we go. This guy. And then is there a way? Can I enlarge the token here? This one. It says
Yes, but I need to I need to go to export to remember how to do it. Because like you can right click on it and change the token settings and change the size of it.
oh, I might have to. I'd have to. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna delete it, and it's not a Cheyenne sitting there. Let me go ahead and get you guys somewhat organized here. Yep, that's fine. Okay. As you make your way down, I also forgot to put Eckhart and her flight crew chief, whatever his name is, on there, but they're down here too.
Petrovich, I think.
Yeah, I didn't put their tokens on there, but when you
But
get
they're
down here,
right?
I'm sorry?
But they're here.
Yeah, they're here. When you come down into the hangar area, the first thing you'll notice, other than Eckhart and crew and maybe a couple other random like support types, not active combat-ish, but you'll notice that is not a Cheyenne sitting on the dropship sliding launch panel, or it's not sitting. That's not a Cheyenne sitting in front of you. What is sitting in front of you is a V10 Alpha 1113 Mantis
The
multi-mission
general
dropship.
ship again.
Yes. Because that's what she came in on. I now I think about it. But yeah, this is a dropship that looks much like it. As you're coming in to the hangar deck and you're falling in, kind of looking around, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, from the back end of it steps a... let me see what his... Did I give him a description? Yes, I did. Very short, high and tight, 5 o'clock shadow, about 5'10", lean. Has a rather impressively domineering stance and demeanor about him. Comes off of the back of the not Cheyenne. He has a clipboard in one hand, and in another one is like basically a duffel bag full of stuff. And he comes up to you, Sergeant Pike, in particular. Well, he won't recognize that you're a sergeant. In fact, the only person he recognizes with rank is Lance Corporal Winston. And he actually looks over at the two of you that are without your tops and kind of gives a very quick raise one eyebrow, and then just like, all right, whatever, I don't have time for this shit. And he says, I am Colonel Marcus Arnold, your new commander.
Sergeant Pike, pleasure to meet you, sir.
Why is there blood on your hands?
Combatives training.
Wonderful. That is yours. And he points over at the dropship behind him. The Mantis. Lieutenant Eckhart, I'm assuming that's you. And he's looking at Wescott because he doesn't know any better. And then he sees the lieutenant rank on the other woman here.
No, sir. Lieutenant Eckhart is over there, sir.
I see that. Thank you. Lieutenant Eckhart, your crew has been assigned to this vessel. This ship is your new ship. You are the flight crew. Full specs are inside. Short version is this. Multi-mission FTL. FTL capable, I should say. It needs a new name. Or, excuse me, it needs a name, I should say. And he's looking at everybody, kind of like looking from one to the next. And Eckhart is standing kind of close, but not too close to Pike, and you hear her mutter, "Saturday the 14th." No, that's stupid.
No, see, but Pike is stupid. So he hears that, and because he just takes it on faith, right? He doesn't know that she's just considering other stuff, and he just says, "Saturday the 14th, sir."
Stupid fucking name. That is what it is. And he drops his bag, opens up his clipboard, and starts scribbling on it. Done. And you see Eckhart, and you probably kind of sort of glance at her specifically, but from the corner of your eye, you don't want to make it obvious, and you could tell, because I think you've got something of a relationship with her, not, sexual or whatever. Like you've known her for a while, and I think you can tell she's about to do this, but she knows she's standing in front of a full bird, and she's not about to do that right now.
Meanwhile, Pike is proud. He backed her up. That's what he thinks.
Yeah, you hear her mutter under her breath again, "You dumb motherfucker." And that is where we will end for tonight, except for one final thing. I need each of the three of you to roll 1d4. I will average that number to determine what your next mission is. And when you go to that mission, you will be flying on Saturday the 14th. That is an 11. That rounds out to 11 divided by 3 is like 3 point something or other, so it basically is a 4. Okay. Let's do outro-y kind of things. More specifically, experience points. Everybody gets a single experience points for participation. The second question, did you risk or sacrifice? Wescott, absolutely. Well, that's specifically to your personal agenda.
Okay, I think both Wescott and Watts played to their personal agenda today.
Yeah, no, I think Wescott definitely tried. When she brought water bags, she tried to keep everybody together, kept everybody in the same room at the end of the Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Watts definitely. All right. I mean, Wescott. What's his agenda?
Downtime is the best.
Oh fuck yeah, he was probably.
It literally
I think
is,
Watts was
that's what's in there.
definitely. I think Watts was definitely right there next to Pike, encouraging every bit of shenanigans that he could, just to keep everybody having a good time. Maybe even at some points was trying to counter Pike to keep from things getting derailed. I feel like that would have been a thing. Did you risk your life for your buddy? I don't think that came up.
I kind of want to go with the last one with her. Warren got the commendation, but I think we got the experience point for that last time. And
I think so, yeah.
Winston, yeah, okay, all right, never mind. Personal agenda is okay.
Yeah. Did you risk your life for your buddy? I don't think anybody risked their lives in general.
No, I mean this wasn't a life risking episode, but
No.
I did. I did. For the guy that was hitting on Wescott, I did risk starting a fist fight with that guy if he was going to be an ass.
That's a little
on Wescott's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little shaky, but I think I'll allow it. I might be a little too generous for that one, but okay. Did anybody challenge or stand up to their rival? I'm gonna give Wescott this one for her wanting to spar Pike, even though he may not be her rival.
He's actually listed as her buddy.
Yeah.
Winston for standing up and doing a manipulation against Pike.
That's a good one. Yes, you did.
Oh, Watts is dropping Winston currently as his rival. Actually, wait. Winston, not Warren. Warren, he's buddies. I'm adjusting Watts's buddy to being Warren for now.
Okay.
And he did not do anything to Winston, so.
Pike doesn't have a rival right now.
Oh, but he might. No, I'm just kidding. Don't listen to me.
I mean, don't worry. I'm sure somebody will find a way to put themselves there. But
well, no. Pike's rival is anybody in the UPP.
But Winston is no longer Pike's rival.
Okay, yeah.
Winston
is Pike's apprentice. Now. Let's be honest here. The rule of two.
As far as Pike is concerned, out of this whole group of people that he's been trying to keep alive, Winston was the first one to get on the level.
That's definitely a way to phrase it.
That's the way, right?
That's how Pike would phrase it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. All right, Pike
regardless of the outcomes.
and
Yeah.
Pike and Wescott get another one because they had to make panic rolls. I don't think anybody else did, although this also was
No.
kind of a selective, not very many panic rolls needed.
Mhm.
Did you over? There were no dangerous events. Arguably, it could be that spar, but I'm not going to count that as a dangerous event because the worst that I would have allowed is somebody getting knocked out. We had no significant discoveries or revelations. Well, that's questionable because you have been told that Colonel
Pike
Arnold
gets
is your
credit
new.
for it.
Huh?
I mean,
Pike gets it.
our command staff is gone.
Yeah.
And this new guy rolled in to be our told us that he was here, and I guess we report to him now.
Yeah.
But I think the important discovery is that Pike is the ranking
You
combat
have
personnel on
access
the
to the
ship.
command section of the ship. Nobody else does. Yeah.
Eckhart's not combat staff.
Yeah, the most combat that she has really is just the fact that she's a Cheyenne pilot.
Right.
Who might have to fly in under, I hate to say this badly, I hate to speak disparagingly about anybody in the military, but like similar in some ways to Huey pilots. They're not necessarily combat aviation, but they do fly in combat situations.
They're not combat arms, but they go into combat.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it was. I think Rodance is right. Pike got a discovery of, hey, I'm in command right now.
Yeah.
Well,
that just got superseded.
The permission, and then the colonel.
Oh, the general signing off on the award.
So he is in the only one in the position to understand the context behind the information we learned.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know that this colonel's staying on board. We don't know if this is just a drop off and on your new reporting authority. And that's what Pike is operating with right now, is like, this is the guy that we report to now type thing.
Yeah. Reminds me, I need to. Sorry. Oh, here we are. Let me make a note real quick. Let's see. Significant discovery, revelation. I don't think we had any extraordinary actions of any kind. But everybody else does get one because you are still being paid. I think that will do it for that. Any counter arguments for any of the... Oh, did I decide if I was going to give Pike that experience point for the general, etc., colonel, etc.?
But sounded like you did.
Yeah.
I certainly took it.
Okay. Sorry, I realized I needed to make a note real quick, because otherwise I'll forget, and forgot that I needed to still make a final ruling. All right, Rodance. Outro comments, feedback for the episode.
I have a feeling that she is going to continue putting points in combat skills and sparring Pike every time we're in between combat missions, just to see if she ever actually lands one on him.
One of these times you're going to end up losing a tooth.
And I'm not
sure at this point, like half of them are implants anyways.
That would be amazing. Luke, outro comments, feedback for tonight.
Today went pretty well.
Yeah.
We drank, we swam, we did some things, and I
tried to get somebody else to pick up the tab, but fucked that up.
Yeah,
in a glorious drunken way.
I just want to say for the people out there who will resonate with this, but when Wescott got elbowed in the head, I could taste how that felt. And I'm like, yeah, I've been there. It's not a good time.
No, he's not.
Am I the only one who's managed to not be elbowed in the face?
I haven't been elbowed in the face before.
I've been in combatives where I can imagine, like, I have taken enough hits to know what being elbowed in the face probably feels like.
I've been punched in the face, but I think the worst was getting somebody took a shotgun and smashed the butt into my face.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's gonna feel it. Yeah, right there.
You'll feel that one for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lost 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Kane, any
Uh,
outro comments, feedback?
we got Pike and Silkies.
Yeah.
I feel like that wasn't that hard to do. Just gotta take Pike out of combat, because you can't take the combat out of Pike. Just
Yeah.
gotta take him out of combat and get him drunk.
I'm a little sad we didn't get into a bar brawl.
I'm glad, but I will plan for one next time.
Because beating the shit out of somebody else doesn't remove them from the population. We just need to make sure we don't accidentally kill anybody.
That's the tricky part with Pike. Rolling
Yeah.
15 dice on unarmed combat against
Yeah.
unarmored folk.
Hey, look, do you know how long it's going to take for me to get anywhere close to rolling 15 dice?
I mean, it doesn't help that occasionally I put a point or two in combat.
Doesn't
So
help.
Like,
Speaking
yeah, like,
of,
it's ridiculous.
I have 6 ranks in close combat right now.
Wescott.
That's disgusting.
Wescott, as a post-credits moment, there is a small card left for Wescott in her
Aw.
locker from Tom that says,
Oh,
"That was a wonderful time. I hope we can do it again." Mike, you get a card as well.
God.
It says you
Is
owe
it
me a
just a
drink. It says you owe me a drink, especially for naming the dumb ship.
I like the idea that like the outside of the card it doesn't say Pike, it's just like a photocopy of her middle finger, like
Oh
on the
yeah,
card.
absolutely. It's her finger doing this, and then it says inside. It says, "You fucked me up with that Duncan Fisher comment, Hassan." Inside it says, "You owe me a drink for making that stupid name a thing."
At least it's not called Bodie McBoatface.
Droppy McDropship.
Which
I
is so
literally
funny.
said that as a joke, and Pike, you were like, "Fucking Pike is gonna roll with it." And I was like, "I'm trying to just make a joke."
I'm being very,
I know I
I'm
named it
very-
in the game on Foundry. I named it Saturday the 14th just because I didn't want to forget to make that joke. Because of Friday the 13th, this is clear, and this is the next one you guys get. This is clearly Saturday the 14th. I was just trying to make a joke. Next thing I know, Pike is like, "Oh, actually, that sounds pretty cool."
Oh no, it's not even that Pike thought it was a cool name, right? Like he didn't even consider if he thought it was a cool name or not.
He was just
Like-
backing up the LT.
Like as far as Pike is concerned, and I feel like it's the narrative we've written, like Pike and Eckhart are at the limit of what is legal.
Of
Right?
what a sergeant and a lieutenant can do.
Right. So when she said it, he was like, "The pilot wants it. I'm saying it." Like, so he didn't consider if he liked it or if it
Or the
sounded
fact
good.
that she
He was
said
just-
it was like, "No, that's stupid. Hold on, I gotta think of something better."
No, but he heard a name and said it right away.
Yeah, exactly.
I love playing a potato. There's no extra thought filters to go between, like, he just like
It's
heard a name,
input
say
and it becomes output. There's
Yeah.
there's no filtration. There's no adding or subtracting.
He's missing 40 points of IQ worth of filters, so
You can exist with that. You can exist. With
Yeah, well, clearly.
Yeah.
I can exist with that.
I mean, Wescott apparently is walking around carrying them for him, so he's probably safe.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, that might end up being there's probably an extra package in his locker of the neatly tied clothing returned. Actually, no, he wore it back up onto the ship. Never mind.
Yeah.
But it'll probably
So
be a note going.
That's what I thought was funny, because you were like, I bring the extra pair of clothes or whatever, and I was like, Pike doesn't plan to wear his uniform most of the time. He plans to basically just
So-
run around in his underwear.
So Winston and Warren are just watching all these people get notes, and they're like, "What's going on?"
All right, are we good for next week?
Yeah.
Assuming nothing changes between now and then, of course.
It's just like a last comment now that we've established some stuff with characters.
Yeah.
I didn't care if Pike survived this campaign until this episode.
That makes me feel good as a GM the way I planned this episode, because I really kind of wanted to leave it wide open to you guys. It was like, you know what? Fuck it. They go to a hotel, casino resort. Let them do what they want. And this is what we got.
Because like
Yeah.
up to this point, the only thing that we'd established that Pike gives a shit about is being a Marine, right?
Yeah.
But he was raised to be a Marine. But the narrative that we've established with Eckhart now, Pike wants to live because he knows at some point she's going to take that uniform off.
Almost. So what it is? So no. This is what it becomes. Every time Pike sits down with one of his Marines and he takes his top off, what he's secretly hoping for is that he gets that moment when Eckhart takes her top off with him.
So me as a player now, I want Pike to live because I want Eckhart to come with us to the second campaign.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So that they can actually, do their thing when they're not Marines anymore. He wants her to live and he wants to live, and I want them both to make it to the end.
Next thing you know, there'll be little Pike Eckhart babies.
Oh God! Can you imagine if like all of our people filed randomness of NPCs of that flavor?
The dynasty of
A dynasty
Pike's
of dark side.
children.
This is how the Sith are reborn, and that's the last Star Wars reference I'm gonna make.
Pikes, that whatever poor woman has to give birth to gigantic Pike babies.
Just big domes. All right. Well, that is all we have for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, and you're not already on my Discord server, in the stream chat before we shut down in the next minute or two, !Discord will give you the invite link. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link is in the in the description down below. Let's see what else we got going on. Tomorrow night I'm supposed to be meeting with the Rogue Trader crew. Ro, are you good for tomorrow night? Was that a yes?
It should be okay.
Okay. This will be our, as I am calling it, our session 0.1. I'm expecting at least one other zero session afterwards, and then probably about mid-June, Rogue Trader the campaign will start. It'll have a much cooler sounding name than that. Let's see, what else do I got going on? Not much. Things are quiet on the GTL front at the moment because a lot of moving parts are keeping everybody apart as we move to wrap up the 3025 season. Beyond that, we will be back, presumably, assuming nothing changes. We'll be back again next week for more hilarity as we start our next mission. Pike is already starting his spending experience points rolls.
Pike is trying to see if he's ever going to be smart enough to teach himself. Well, I guess he did succeed once.
Well, in the meantime, my friends, stay safe out there. This world is a crazy dark place, but at least you don't have to deal with xenomorphs. In the meantime, do what you got to do to take care of you and yours. And as for me and mine, we are out of here. Have a good one. See you next time.